And welcome, everybody. This is Games Over Plastic, episode number 63. I am Midnight, back again with my lovely co-hosts, joined once again by the man, the myth, the legend, and the master of graphics, Hodge. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm on call. I hope I don't get any calls while we're recording this. So
We
knock
hope
on
you do.
wood. But I'm happy to be here. I used to love Star Wars, so I'm excited to talk about the good days of Star Wars with you guys. So May the 4th be with all of you. That's when this is going up. So if you're listening to it on premiere day, I don't know. That's what we're doing, Star Wars.
That's right.
Happy to be here.
That's right. And last but not least, the Sith Lord and Master of Rebury, Sean Mason. How you doing, sir? Welcome back.
He's back.
He's back. Harry Potter game.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Podcast we record you. It's gonna be great. Star Trek episode is gonna be sweet. Star Trek, yeah. May the Trekkies be with you. I've never seen Star Trek ever.
Really? Star Trek's awesome.
Never, ever. Not even the reboot or anything like that.
Star Trek's great.
Yeah, I've never seen any of it. But I love, like Hodge, used to love Star Wars, and then Disney took over, and we go from there. Luckily, from the Disney era, we've got that's it. Yeah, just that.
Season 1 of Mandalorian and Andor.
Season 1 of Mandalorian. Yeah, Andor's awesome. I really like both seasons of Andor. Mandalorian 1, like you said, was good. The Maul, people like the Maul, I think, the new animated. I haven't watched it yet.
I refuse.
I'm going to watch it.
It's set between episodes 3 and 4. Maul died in episode 1. I don't care. Everything after.
Well, they're retconning it. They're bringing him back. Don't worry.
I know. I don't. I refuse.
You're not going to let them retcon?
For the episode
they can do whatever they want. I don't have to. In my head canon, he died in episode 1. I don't care. The ending of Solo, where he shows up, is fucking stupid. The fact he's in Clone Wars and Rebels, it's fucking stupid. He died.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is kind of stupid, but hey, man, he's a cool character, and if they're going to retcon it and make it canon, whatever, I think it looks cool, and I'm going to check it out.
Should have kept him alive for the movies, episode 1, 2, and 3. He should have been the big bad.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Count Dooku was lame.
Then Anakin should have killed him.
Well, yeah, that's why they brought him back in all these shows, is because they killed him off in episode 1 and was like, oh, he was so awesome. Like, oh, crap. All right, we gotta bring him back then.
It's got the best music title ever. Duel of the Fates.
Oh, yeah.
People get cut in half all the time and survive. What are you talking about?
Well, now in Star Wars, Qui-Gon Jinn got stabbed in the chest and died, and then since then Disney's had about 17 people stabbed in the chest who survived it. So apparently Qui-Gon Jinn's just a bitch.
It depends on where you get stabbed, I guess. He might have took a hard shot.
Only movie Liam Neeson did. Star Wars.
All right, boys. So this is Games Over Plastic, the podcast for the agnostic gamers, coming to you every other weekend, and we come to you on the off weekends a lot. We do what we want, okay? Basically, we're going to come to you whenever we want. It's going to be bi-weekly, but we're going to come to you every week a lot of the times too. So just look out for us. We're guaranteed to come to you every other week, and you're going to see us in the off weeks a lot, whenever we feel like it, okay? That's the official schedule, okay? So just look out for us, be ready, and be excited. Please look forward to it, okay? And we are available on all audio platforms like Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else. And we're on YouTube in full 4K video glory with edits usually by the one and only Hodge at youtube.com/@Gamesoverplastic. By the way, if you are a company that needs a graphics designer, reach out to Hodge. He's the man. Look at these awesome intros, these edits, these graphics. This man is talented. All right. Hit him up and give him a lot of money.
Freelance or part-time. I'm not doing it full-time.
Well, if give him lots of money, though.
Unless they offer him a 6-figure salary, then he'll do it full-time.
Yeah, if 6 figures out, yes.
Yeah, like I said, if you give him a lot of money, reach out. He is really talented.
High 5 figures.
Yes.
He'll do it full-time.
Yes. And with that said, it is May the 4th when you're listening to this, people. It is Monday, May the 4th when this episode goes live. That's why we're all wearing Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. This is our very special Star Wars episode. All of us are Star Wars fans or have been at one point. I am still a Star Wars fan. I wasn't a Star Wars fan for a while, but I got back into it with my recent gaming takes. And my cat's a Star Wars fan. So today, what we're going to be doing is we have a twofer for you. We are going to be going over our favorite Star Wars games. We're going to be ranking those. And then we are going to give you the definitive list. That's right, Kat. The definitive list of the Star Wars movies. We are going to rank all 11 Star Wars movies from worst to best. And the way we did this is Sean and Hodge sent me their list. I have my list. I averaged it out. They don't know what it is yet. We're going to go over it from 11 to 1, the consensus rating. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys
Was
excited?
I the only one to include the Christmas special in mine?
Number one.
Yeah, the Christmas special was a honorable mention for that.
Oh, that's an easy.
I've actually never seen it.
It's one of the worst pieces of crap
Never
I've ever seen in my life.
I didn't know there was one.
It is.
I've never seen it, but I have listened to the knockback episode from Last Day Media, but I never actually watched it.
Last time I checked, it was on YouTube, but it was so bad that George Lucas tried getting it deleted from everywhere because he was embarrassed that it was ever made. It's one of the worst things ever made.
It's like Sheep in the Big City, that old cartoon. Like people remember it, but you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
That's a real cartoon, by the way.
I didn't even know that there was a Christmas episode. I'm gonna have to watch that now.
It's notoriously known as or infamously, I guess, known as one of the worst pieces of shit ever made. It's horrendous. It's basically great. So what it is it's about, I think it's called Life Day. It's some stupid holiday. It's basically Christmas in Star Wars world, and it's about Han and Chewbacca trying to get Chewbacca back home in time for the holiday, and the whole episode or the whole movie is about Chewbacca's family. So like wife, kid, grandpa, and it's about them. And while they're like at their house or whatever, like Imperial guards come like trying to find like just to have them in the thing. I think it was made between episodes 4 and 5. So it was like everything was still very new. And then there's like guest singers and stuff that come on like into the thing. They play like bands. And at one point the grandpa puts on like this VR headset and watches basically porn. And then like, it's obviously no nudity, but it's like, he's watching like this sensual woman like, ooh, and it's really weird. And then it ends with Carrie Fisher, who's Princess Leia, singing a song. It's just one of the legitimately one of the worst pieces of crap you could ever watch.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it only aired one holiday season. The holiday season it premiered, it never aired again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could. I would assume if you have like a VHS copy of it, it's probably worth money because it was so bad that they pulled it from. They tried pulling it from existence. Basically, it was so bad. But yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I didn't know about that. I do love. I'm sure you guys have probably seen this. I love the undercover boss with Kylo Ren that Saturday Night Live did.
Oh yeah,
that was. Did you see that at Star Killer Base? Dude, that was so funny. He was working with the dude where he killed his father. Apparently, they become close. So he gives him a card, and it's like after the rain comes the rainbow, and then it's like, sorry, I killed your dad, Kylo.
There is so much parody out there for Star Wars. Like it's not even funny. Like Family Guy Star Wars, like all three.
The Family Guy Star Wars episodes are really funny.
Yep, we have Blue Harvest, which is supposed to be A New Hope. We have something Dark Side, which is Empire, and then there's oh my gosh, what's the last one called? I cannot remember what the last one's called.
I just remember Blue Harvest because that's what the movie was. That's what like the working title for the first movie was. But
it was It's a Trap is the last one. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah. And then I remember they make a comment like, oh, we already ran out of our own characters because they start using American Dad characters. Like that's what Chris says. He's like, oh, we already ran out of our own characters.
That's so funny. Yeah, and then I don't know if you guys ever remember it was like a 20-minute short called Thumb Wars, and it was literally the first Star Wars movie, but everyone was a thumb like person, and it was one of the fun. I actually own a lot of them on because it was made by, I think his name is Steve Odenkirk, and who made also Kung Pao, if you remember that movie, the one where he like dubs over the old karate movie. Yeah, it was made by him. But everyone's like a thumb with a face, and so it's really, really stupid but really funny. I own like there's Thumbtanic, the God Thumb, Franken Thumb, the Blair Thumb. Like they're these really stupid things. I watched them back in like it was like middle school that I watched these, and they were so funny. The only thing I remember about the Star Wars one, it's just been so long since I watched it, was his name was, I think they called him Ben or whatever, but he goes, my real name is Ooby Doo Scooby Doo Banooby, and that always made me laugh.
And then I sent you guys. You guys saw what I sent you, right? Hodge, you had seen that, right? Star Wars.
What one?
The
Wait,
I
Star
sent it in the
Wars.
Discord. Star Wars. Had you ever seen that before?
You didn't send it in Discord.
Yeah. No, I did.
He did last week.
Yeah, last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
I checked it out for a second. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was
You had
busy
never
at the
seen it
time.
before?
Oh
That was
yeah,
like
I've
around.
seen. I've seen.
I don't
that,
think I've seen it.
Yeah, that was around the same time as like shoes, like and muffins, like we were talking about. That was one of the early
Yeah.
YouTube videos. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
That was one of the early ones I remember. And the giant shopping cart is the Death Star.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Good classic YouTube, man.
Well, boys, I say let's get into it. Let's start off with the gaming, huh?
Mhm.
And listeners, by the way, make sure that you leave us comments and stuff. Let us know what your favorite Star Wars games are, and let us know your ranking for the movies, which we're going to do later. 1 through 11. So we're doing the 3 trilogies plus Solo and Rogue One. We want to know your ranking and how it differs from us. All right, but we're going to start with the games because this is a gaming podcast. So we are going to go 5 through 1. We're going to rank our favorite, best Star Wars games of all time, and I don't have the actual GOP doc up yet. What
Oh, I should
order do we
probably
want to
do
go in, boys?
Oh, I just going first.
I'm
Yeah.
first.
Sean
All
has
right.
spoke. Sean has
I have
spoken.
spoken.
Yeah, like that little dude. I have spoken from Mandalorian. Hodge, what's your number 5, bro?
All right, my number 5 is they've made a handful of these, but my favorite is the original, mostly because of nostalgia, and that is Lego Star Wars, the video game. The OG one for PS2. I played. This is what started me. Like I've told people, if you're new to the podcast, hello. But if you're a return listener, I've talked about how me and my brother have the tradition of we just play every Lego game together, and this is the one that kicked it off. The OG Lego Star Wars game. I loved this game so much. We played. This is obviously back on the PS2. It came out in 05. So it was back when we were kids, and we just had to keep replaying games. So we played it over and over and over, and I just absolutely love this game. Obviously, they've come out with remakes of it. I think they have like the full saga on Xbox 360 and PS3 or something like that. I can't remember, but just this OG PS2 one, it's just so nostalgic, and I absolutely love this one. So Lego Star Wars, the video game for PS2.
Okay, good. I never played it.
What?
Good pick. Sean, any thoughts on that one?
If we get right into my number 5, because my number 5 is the same thing as Hodge. It is the original Lego Star Wars. I mean, honestly, you can go like any kind of Lego Star Wars. Really, I mean, they have the OG trilogy. Then they had they called it the new. Did they call it the new trilogy? It was like episode, which was 1, 2, and 3, and then they had the complete saga.
Yeah, and they also had Lego The Clone Wars, if I remember right, too.
Yes,
They had a video game for that.
I originally had the original saga, and then I got the episode 1, 2, and 3, and then I got it again combined together. Like I replayed it again, and I freaking love these games. These are like some of the original Lego games, like some of the first like licensed Lego games, and like Hodge, I'm a big fan of them. I even like I know this isn't on my list, but like the Skywalker saga, I know Hodge has his complaints because it's so bloated. I actually really liked it because there's a lot of fan service in that game.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
so
a
many
great game.
characters.
It was just way too much. It was so
Yeah.
overbloated.
It took me like 200 hours to platinum. Like, it was
Oh my
ridiculous.
god!
Yeah, it was insane. And I did it all co-op too with like a buddy. So like it took us like 6 months to do it, but like we did it.
That's like 3 of my giant RPGs.
Yeah, it was
in
it
one
was
platinum. Jesus.
It took us like
No, yeah.
it took us like 6 months to do it. Like just like 3-hour play sessions at a time, just going through, and it was like a lot of fun. Like it really like I love Lego Star Wars, and like that original trilogy. Like it set up the formula for for the Lego games. I mean, it was a huge hit. It was a PS2, and then it came. The complete saga came to Wii as well because I had it on PS2, and I ended up getting it on Wii, which was great. You can actually play them now on the PSP versions of them on the PlayStation Plus store. Like it's included in your.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the PSP versions, which the PSP versions are pretty good because they're legitimately. It's not like a DS port; it was like a legit PS2 port to the PSP, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I know I have the complete saga on 360, and I've been debating replaying it because I love it so much. Because I've never played the complete saga one because I played all the other ones, so there was no point in me playing it. So, but I've kind of had the itch every once in a while to go and
they
play
hold up. I mean, they're great. Also fun. Shout out to this YouTuber Summoning Salt who does like speedrun videos. He does like history of speedrun videos. and he's like they're high quality like production. He gets like millions of views. He had an episode on the chase for Legos, like the Lego Star Wars speedrun. It was like it's like a super popular. Yeah, it's like awesome. The tricks people use in the game, it's insane. It's like an hour of it. I was watching it. I'm like, this is insane to think about.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Lego Star Wars. What a game.
What a game. Yeah. All right. Good pick, guys. Good pick. My turn. My number 5 is a game that I talked about once before, way back in the day. So longtime GOP listeners might remember this because I had a funny story attached to it. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. This game came out in 2004, 2005 or something. Do you guys remember the story that came with this at all? Probably not.
Kyle Katarn, baby.
This was the story that I told where I was talking about where I had Discord Reddit mod energy, little small D energy, where I was banning people and stuff. So this game was cool. It had a cool single player story with Kyle Katarn, right? But what was really awesome about this game was that it had servers. And this was kind of like VR chat which I haven't used VR chat, but I've seen videos of people trolling in VR chat, right? Where you just get in there and talk to people with characters, right? This is kind of like VR chat before it ever existed. You get in a server and you're a Jedi or a Sith or whatever, or even Stormtrooper, whatever you want. And you're on this map and you can run around and fight, or you could just talk to people, right? And a lot of people, we would go out there and you would fight. There was this big landing platform and you would have duels, and it was really competitive, and I was really good with the lightsaber stuff. It was really cool. There was 3 stances. There was counters. It was a lot of fun. But there was also dudes that would run around griefing and just killing people with their lightsabers. And eventually, I had a server. I didn't have a server. I was a server mod on one of them. And I remember, I would ban the griefers and stuff. But then every now and then, this was younger Midnight. It was only 2004. I was right out of high school. I would get some small D energy, Reddit mod energy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to flex my power here. I'm going to flex my power. And I'm not proud of this.
Flex my power.
I'm not proud of this. But I would go undercover, I would just be playing as a normal person. I would be dueling. I'd be playing the game normally, not doing anything wrong. But if somebody would run up and try to kill me, I would immediately just turn into an admin with the dual saber, and I would just fuck them up and just kill them over and over and then ban them and be like, ha ha, bitch. And I was like, yeah, that was great. But no, this game was awesome though.
That was so funny.
No, it was awesome. This game was awesome though. The lightsaber duels was really good, dude. There was 3 stances that countered each other. You'd switch between them fluidly. The heavy countered the light or this and that. I don't know. But it was super cool. The chat aspect. It was a social experience when you didn't have a whole lot of social experiences on the internet really back then, where you could chat with people in 2004, 2005 really. And yeah, the campaign was not bad either. So
yeah.
My only memory of this game is one of the only kids I knew who actually had an Xbox, in my town. Everyone was PlayStation, PS2 over here. He had an Xbox. He had this game, and I remember playing it with him, and he was so much better than me. I was so bad at
it. Yeah. There was a skill curve in this, yeah.
I was also 7.
I loved all the Jedi Knight games. They were so much fun. Even back to Dark Forces, one of the older ones, which I think was part of this series. Those games were just, and they were the back in the days of, what are they called? FMV videos or whatever, where it's the real live action people. It wasn't graphics. It was actual acting people. So there was actually a man who played Kyle Katarn, which is hilarious. And I'm waiting for Disney to bring him back and into canon and just ruining him, because Kyle Katarn was such a cool character.
He was cool. Yeah.
I loved that character.
That sounds
back
like
in the
a
day.
fake Jedi name too. Kyle Katarn.
Kyle Katarn.
Oh yeah, that's my Jedi name.
Yeah, but I loved these games. So
Kyle Katarn's cool.
That's a great pick. Oh, by the way, before we move into my next one, I forgot, if people wanted proof that I'm a Star Wars fan, I have the freaking Star Wars logos tattooed on my forearm. So I got the First Order one after episode 7 came out, because I was like, oh, this trilogy is going to be great. And then it wasn't. And then now I kind of regret having that one. So
guys, he has a First Order tattoo on him because he's a Nazi. We all know that.
That's true. Very true.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It's also a really cool logo, but yeah.
It is actually a real cool logo.
Yeah.
If people want proof that I am a Star Wars fan, I'm wearing a Star Wars t-shirt that I bought for $19.99. So
if people want proof that I'm a Star Wars fan, hang on 1 second. 1 second. Is it in here? Nope, it's not in here. Oh, no, it is. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. It is in this room.
Actually, I have a $200 Darth Malgus statue over there that I've shown before, so I'm too lazy to go get it. He doesn't have his lightsaber.
If people want proof that I'm a Star Wars fan, here we go.
Ah, Mando. I'm gonna see the movie. I don't know if you guys are. Probably not.
My friend wants to see it, so
I'm gonna see it in the theater.
It's gonna be horrible, but I'll still see it.
I'm not expecting too much. It's Mandalorian. It probably won't be that bad, but I'm not expecting greatness. I'm expecting a 7.
It's hard to see, but up there in the corner, I have a Boba Fett helmet also.
That's me in the corner.
Like, I don't think the movie's gonna be that bad. It's Mandalorian. Like, but I'm expecting a 7.
Have you watched season 3?
Yeah, I mean, season 3 was like a 6 or a 7. Yeah, it wasn't great.
I messed up my camera now.
Right. Well,
from the stuff I've seen from the movie looked kind of cool. Like, I saw some screenshots, unfortunately, that looked cool. We'll see.
Just looks like an episode on camera. That I am a gamer.
If you want
elite gamer, look at that.
Ooh, nice. How about that?
I love that old cover of Mario.
All right. Well, you know what I want proof of? I want proof that there's a 4th game that Hodge loves.
Yeah, number 4. The number Force. Star Wars. Is Star Wars The Force Unleashed. This was like the first game where the Jedi powers felt like legit. Like every other game, it had like little, you could move stuff around and whatever. Even Lego Star Wars, that you were able to move stuff with the Force. But this was the first one where you really felt like a Jedi. And then obviously the epic scene of him bringing down a Star Destroyer just like by himself. Yeah. The QTE for it was really stupid. Like you had to do a bunch of different joystick crap, whatever. But like just the visual of him just like sitting there, like just ripping a Star Destroyer out of the sky was so cool. And then obviously I always did the good ending. I did the bad ending once just to see, even though the bad ending was really hard.
No spoilers, please. I still need to play it.
Well, it's like any Star Wars game. There's good and bad. So
no, I'm just saying, don't say what it is.
Oh, I'm not going to say, but all I'll say is
I want to play it.
The bad ending was hard, but the good ending obviously is what I did the most because I like being a good person in the video games. But the game, it was so cool. You played as obviously Star Killer, which was Darth Vader's original apprentice before they decided to write in Ahsoka Tano, who just Dave Filoni has to throw into fucking everything because he's obsessed with, I made her, so she needs to be in every single project ever. So Star Killer was awesome, and I wonder if that might be another character Disney tries bringing back into canon just to ruin, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Force Unleashed, it was such a fun game. The second one, I remember the gameplay being just as good, but the story being worse. But it's been so long since I played it that I don't really remember. So I just went with the first one because I remember just absolutely loving this game. So yeah, Star Wars The Force Unleashed is my number 4.
I never played Force Unleashed, but kid I used to babysit. And by babysit, I mean I was like 10 and he was like 7. And so we played video games the entire time, and his mom would give me like $30. It was great. It was like the best thing ever. And then like I'm like friends with the kid now. Like he's like 3 years younger, so I'm like friends with him. This is like hilarious. He had both of these games, and he was like the Force Unleashed one. He was a huge Star Wars kid, like huge Star Wars kid. He was obsessed with Force Unleashed. Like it was one of those things he would play, beat it, restart, play, beat it. Like he would just constantly do that. It's a huge start. But yeah, that's like my only memory of this game. I never played them. I rented Force Unleashed, came home, put it in my, I think, it was on PS2, right? It wasn't PS3, right?
I think it was PS3 and 360, but I could be wrong because it came out in 2008, so it might have been on both. It might have been that.
Maybe it was PS3. It must have been PS3 then, because my neighbor did have a PS3. I know that.
It was on PS2, Nintendo Switch. Yeah, 360, PS3, Wii, PS2, PSP, Nintendo DS, iOS, N-Gage, and mobile.
Have they ever
so
remastered it?
Version. It must have been the N-Gage version. No.
Modern releases?
They are back compat on 360, but I don't think they've they haven't rebooted them or anything. Or remade them.
But anyways, I remember renting it from Blockbuster, like near the tail end of the Blockbuster in my town, and coming home and trying to put it in my console, and it's just not working. The disc was all stretched up, and I remember like bringing it back, and I was like, "Can I have a different copy?" And they were like, "No, we don't have another copy." I'm like, "All right." So then I ended up getting like probably some crappy Nickelodeon game.
You playing a Nickelodeon game?
I know,
What?
shocker, right? But yeah, so but I do like I know the entire story because I watched that kid play it probably dozens of times.
Yeah, it's so good.
Nice. Sean, what's your 4 though?
All right, so my number 4 is around kind of the same era, maybe a couple years before that. This is like, we're getting to the time where people were like, "Oh yeah, Star Wars, yeah." I mean, it's kind of over now, and that is Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith, the game. But not the console version, not the PS2, the Xbox. It is the Game Boy Advance version, which is a 2. This is back when the handheld versions were like different games.
Yeah.
This was a 2.5 side-scrolling beat 'em up with like that 16-bit art style, like that Legacy of Goku art style.
All right.
Yeah, and I freaking love this game. I don't get me wrong, I love the console version too. Like I loved that console version. It was super fun. I love how the alternate ending where you can be Anakin and actually kill Obi-Wan on Mustafar, which is like hilarious.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
love
that.
Like they make it the canon ending of the game too. It's like that's not what happened.
But dude, the graphics for this are awesome.
Yeah, it was GBA. Come on, Hodge. We know it's GBA. So,
yeah, GBA graphics are just amazing.
Yeah. No, this game was sick. It was a 2.5 like side-scrolling beat up. It was only like 2. It was one of those games that was like 2.5 hours. I got it in for Christmas 2005, but it was in my stocking. So like we were allowed to open our stocking, but not our gifts till 9 o'clock. So I remember sitting there opening it, and I remember I opened it probably like 5 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. So I'm a freaking 9-year-old kid, and I beat it before we opened our gifts. Like it's like a 3-hour game, and I remember sitting there like, oh, what do I do now? My sister, and what's crazy? My sister did the same exact thing, but with the Incredibles, the video game. She got the Incredibles video game in her stocking, and we both games were like 3 hours. We did the same thing. We're like, oh, this is great. But yeah, this game is freaking super sick. The graphics are sweet. Like I would love for this to be like re-released. Like put this on the Nintendo Switch, like the Game Boy Advance app.
Yeah.
They
won't because they had probably big licensing fee.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
Exactly.
It was made by Ubisoft too, which is hilarious.
Freaking Disney.
Yeah. Even though we'll get to honorable mention at the end, I did have the PS2 version on my honorable mentions because this game is awesome. I played the PS2 one, obviously not the GBA one, but yeah, these games were awesome. It was one of those few movie tie-in games that was actually like awesome.
Yeah, it was sick. You know what's crazy? That Christmas, I got it for the GBA, and then like in my stocking, and then when we were actually opening real gifts, I got it for PS2. So like I got both versions for Christmas. It was funny, but this is back in the era where like I said, those handheld games were just completely different. Like I freaking love that. I missed those. I missed that.
Yeah, I remember that with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the Game Boy one. I remember it was also it was notoriously bad. The Game Boy one,
but also like the Harry Potter Game Boy games were RPGs, turn-based RPGs like Pokemon. Yeah, if you look up Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, look up the Game Boy, not Game Boy Advance, but the Game Boy ones. And then I think Chamber of Secrets on Game Boy Advance was a turn-based RPG as well. Yeah, it was sweet.
All right. Huh. Yeah, I never played that. Didn't have a Game Boy Advance, but awesome graphics.
It was so much fun. 2.5 beat 'em up.
All right. I'll move on to my number 4 real quick. And this is going to be real quick because this is a game that nobody cares about but me, and I've talked about it before. But believe it or not, my number 4 favorite Star Wars game of all time is Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
That's my god, that stupid game my student was obsessed with back in like 2020. Oh my god.
That's right, Hodge. I'm so thoroughly addicted to this game. I guarantee I've put in over 100 hours on this game so far. I play it every day, couple hours a day. I'm constantly grinding. I'm constantly gathering shards and powering up my characters and unlocking the custom characters. I got Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, Galactic Legend Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, by the way, which is the highest tier of character. There's only like 10 of them. I'm working on getting Supreme Leader Sith Eternal Emperor right now, which is the retarded emperor from the end, episode 9, where he comes back for no fucking reason.
Oh, you gotta read the novel. Yeah. You gotta read the novel.
that version of him. So I'm gonna get Galactic Legend Sith Eternal Emperor just because I had the parts to get him. Like you have to collect a certain amount of characters and then you can earn the Galactic Legend, right?
Gotta read the novel.
And then I'm gonna get Galactic Legend Leia Organa. I got Star Killer. He was another unlock. You had to get like a bunch of characters. The way it works is you collect like 4 or 5, maybe 8 characters. You have to get them up to a certain power level. Then you win an event. You maybe have a boss fight or something, and then you unlock the boss character. So I got Star Killer, and his special move is he does pull down the Star Destroyer, and the Star Destroyer falls down and like messes up people, and it's freaking sweet.
Is he in his normal uniform or a Sith uniform? Because his Sith uniform became kind of iconic.
He's in. I'll show you. I got a screenshot of it right here.
Does he have like a helmet?
He does not have a helmet.
So it's probably his normal costume.
Yeah, I actually have a screenshot here because I pulled up the video. There's Star Killer when he was pulling down the Star Destroyer because I was going to share it, but then I decided not to because who cares? But that's Star Killer in the game there. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's him just as normal. Yeah, because he has like a Sith costume that if you go the Sith route, he wears, and it's a pretty cool costume. But I like him like that better. That
screenshot there was right after he won the match by dropping a Star Destroyer on someone. But I love the game, dude. It's just really addictive. There's something addictive. You guys can relate to this, like Pokemon and stuff. There's something addictive about collecting things and powering them up, and then being able to collect stronger units right with it. So it's cool. I'm going to get Galactic Legend Leia Organa, and there's all these modes. Like there's a Galactic Conquest in Galactic Conquest, Sean.
Yep. Battlefront in Galactic Conquest.
Yeah, where it's like PvP. It's a big PvP mode where you put your teams against other people's teams and you get scores and rewards, and it's cool. But I'm not going to keep talking about this game because it's a mobile game, and I really love this game.
It's incredibly popular game. It's an incredibly popular game.
It is, yeah. But I will say that this game is incredibly grindy, incredibly time consuming. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this to people casually. But if you are someone who has time to kill and wants to play a Star Wars game on your phone, it's fun. It is fun. Yeah, I will say this: it'll make you want to spend money, so be careful, because it is so grindy. And then they drop these bundles in your face, and they're like, "Hey, $25, you can get all these characters instantly.
$25 here.
Instantly 8 characters powered up to relic level 8. It'd be like, that'll save you 3 months of grinding. And you're like, well, that would. But anyway, that's my number 4. Galaxy's Edgelord.
You want to spend $25? You can Venmo me 25. I'll turn it into 1,000 for you. How's that?
All right. Then will you send me 500 back?
No. I'll send you 25 back.
Oh, come on. You got to at least give me 50. Damn.
Yeah, interest.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. But my number, what are we on? 3? 3.
Yes.
We're on 3.
Is a game that I just recently beat again, and that is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Ooh.
I absolutely love this game. I have the 100% it on 100% on Xbox. I platinum it on PS5, and I guess it was technically PS4, I think, but and then I obviously played it on PS1 and N64 so much back in the day. I absolutely love this game. It's an arcade racer. I'm not a big like actual race fan, so the fact that it's just a really fun arcade racer this game is just an absolute blast. Like unlocking all the different racers, just the fact that they have like Ben Quadraneros in it and stuff is hilarious, and Sebulba, obviously Anakin and whatnot. But speaking of racer, I usually don't ever do this, but I pre-ordered the collector's edition of the new Star Wars Racer game coming out this year, and I'm very excited to play that game because, again, I just played this game again for I just platinumed it. I talked about 2 months ago, a month or two ago on this, and I absolutely love this game, and I cannot wait for the new one this year. It looks so good. So yeah, nice. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Yeah, I also love this game. It was not on my list. It was an honorable mention, though. I played this game a lot, like I've mentioned in the past. Am I still here? I'm freezing.
Yeah, you're here. You're
okay,
good.
my
that was me force freezing you.
Yeah, you stop force choking me, Sean. But yeah, I played this game a lot in the past, like I talked about on the N64 and stuff. Amazing game, really fun doing the races and stuff and seeing all the characters. And it was also came out in like peak Star Wars excitement with Episode 1. We were also hyped to get Star Wars back. And
it came out in 99, year after the episode 1 came out.
Yeah, and my old ass was in high school back then, so believe it or not. So
I was
hyped, man.
Depending on the time of the year, I was either 2 or 3.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
That was
crazy.
me
I'm so old. But Sean, you're up
Yeah,
next. And if
I've
you
never
got
played
thoughts,
it.
go ahead.
No, I've never played the game. Like I said, I've talked about it in the past. I've never played it, but it looks super cool. And like I remember it for N64. Like I remember people like using like 2 controllers at a time, like playing it, like they were like simulating like actually pod racing. It's like crazy.
I could see you really liking this game. Like if you,
Oh,
because it's only like $5-10 or whatever you could
yeah.
buy for it. I could see you platinum this and just absolutely loving it, especially
Yeah,
with like your
this
obsession
is
with
one
like
of those things
CTR
that
and
I
stuff.
will, if I get it, I'm gonna get obsessed with it.
Well, the thing is though, the platinum is like a 6-hour platinum, so it's really not that difficult to do. So you'd be in and out pretty quickly. But this game it's such a blast. It's not hard at all.
No.
It's a very easy game. But
Now this is
absolutely
pod
love it.
racing.
Now this is pod
Annie.
Adi.
All right, perfect. All right.
Sean, what is your number 3, my
All
friend?
right, my number 3 is a game that I'm pretty sure neither of you have played. I've talked about it like briefly before, and that is Star Wars Empire at War. That is the RTS game for PC. This game was freaking phenomenal. It was one of the first RTS games I ever played. And it was like you took control of, you could choose like the rebels, you could choose the Sith, you could choose the rebels, you could choose the Empire. And like you basically controlled units, you built bases, you had like, typical RTS fashion, but they had a cinematic mode that would like go down to the battlefield and would go like cinematic mode, and they would show like the clone troopers shooting each other. And me and my friend Trevor had a blast playing this. It was like I said, it was our introduction to RTS. We had no idea what it was when we bought it. It was just like, oh, Star Wars PC game, let's buy this. And we play, and I joke you not, like again, we were like 8 years old. It took us forever to figure out actually how to play the game. Like we didn't understand it. But then we ended up figuring it out, and we had a blast with it. It was one of the first games I ever played online versus someone, because he went home and bought it, and we would like play online versus each other. It was super fun, really deep and like lore heavy. Like the units you could like the stuff you could build and buy, like with like you had like credits. That was like the amount you could spend. Like you could build like these like crazy like buildings and forts that were like named after these like random Star Wars things that were referenced like that were like briefly referenced in movies or in like the novels of the Star Wars novel. It was super fun. And then they came out with an expansion that added a new faction that was pretty cool. I cannot remember what it was called, but I know they were like purple. And they were space battles and stuff. It was like super fun. But yeah, Star Wars Empire at War. I played a lot of it as a kid. Sadly, they were supposed to make it like a legit sequel, Empire at War 2, but they never got around to it, and then the studio shut down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sean, this game looks pretty freaking awesome.
It was freaking awesome. Like I'm not like it's freaking awesome game.
So I'm looking at it on the best platform of all, of course, which is Steam. They got it on here. And this game has an overwhelmingly positive all-time rating. 97% of users have rated it positive out of over 26,000 reviews. That's really fucking good, obviously.
Yeah. Oh,
these screenshots look great.
Yeah. The expansion was called Forces of Corruption, and it added a third faction. Well, added an extra faction. Yeah, no, it was like a super fun. Like even the cover art is so nostalgic for me. And there was like I think there was like 13 or 14 planets in the base game you could play on. Like it was awesome. And then you could like create like what if scenarios. Like you could like play as like the rebels versus like the clone troopers rather than like the stormtroopers. It was like super cool. You could do stormtroopers versus Empire. Like it was so cool.
Yeah, nice. Steam has Star Wars The Complete Collection bundle on sale for $61 right now. It looks like it includes like every Star Wars game ever made, like 25 games. Wow, good deal.
Nice.
And this was one of those PC games that had like 4 discs to install. Like it was one of those games.
I remember those.
Oh, and I loved it. I love that. It came in like almost like a VHS tape container. Ah, those are the days, boys.
Wouldn't that be cool to still have that like disc package?
I wish I still had it. I'm pretty sure I had it up until like I left for college, and then I have no idea where it went.
That'd be cool to put on the shelf somewhere. Like,
yeah, like I came home and it was just gone.
Damn.
Hey, where's my stuff? Oh, we got rid of it.
Hodge, any thoughts on that one?
Well, yeah, I'm obviously not an RTS person, but Star Wars is perfect for being an art. Like, because obviously there's other games that are very like army heavy, so it just screams like RTS. And I'm looking at screenshots; it does look sweet, but yeah, I'm not a big RTS guy. I did see that on Steam that people have modded it to include the new sequel trilogy maps and stuff, but So there's because I saw one. It was that the red planet from episode 8, where it's like that like red salt or whatever. I saw someone made that map and stuff. So they're still that community apparently is still alive and well. So that's pretty sweet.
It was sweet. It was fun. The cinematic mode was awesome. Watching them like I don't know, just super cool.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Midnight, you're number 3.
Yeah, my number 3. We're getting into some games now that you guys have played. Well, this one at least. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is my number 3 from Respawn Entertainment. Rest in peace, Vince Zampella. This game was awesome. I played it recently. It's the sequel, of course, to Star Wars Jedi. Which one was it? Fallen Order, yeah. Which I almost picked Fallen Order. I wasn't sure which one I liked more, almost like Fallen Order more, but I think Survivor had a little bit more quality of life. The maps and the layout was a little bit less annoying, less backtracking and stuff. So Survivor was cool. I really loved this game. It had an awesome story. It had great characters. Cal Kestis, of course, is a cool character. He had some funny quips. I remember some funny moments, like where you walk up to like a force shield or whatever, and there's like 2 stormtroopers behind it, and he's like, they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here? This is Empire territory." And he's like, "Oh, I'm just out for a stroll." And they're like, "Yeah, well, you better get out of here." And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, why don't you go ahead and just lower that shield and we could talk about it?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'd lower this shield. I'd beat you up." And he's like, "Yeah, well, why don't you go ahead and do that? Lower the shield and say it to my face." And he's like, "Yeah, I would." Like, it's just funny how they have this back and forth. I recorded it. I think I still have it, but it was funny, dude. There's like these little funny moments, awesome stories. I really recommend it. Love all the characters. You get to go around to multiple planets. You get to do all the hijinks. If you're a platformer fan, this game's for you because it has a lot of platforming and environmental traversal, a little bit of puzzles, great combat, kind of Souls light combat, cool force abilities, multiple stances. What not to love? What not to love? One of the best Star Wars games, and that's why it's my number 3. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. You guys have both played this?
No. I've not played any of the new Jedi games. No.
Sean, what are you waiting for?
I don't know. You know what? What am I waiting
for?
Play
Fallen Order, man.
I'm waiting for Frieza to return.
Frieza. He's in the Survivor.
That's what I thought. I knew it.
Yeah.
I've
Golden
played
Frieza is
Fallen Order was another honorable mention of mine. I love that game, but I started Survivor but fell off. I can't remember if it was because it was still glitchy, because I remember when this game launched there was a lot of bugs with it. Eventually it did get polished, but I think I want to replay Fallen Order because I have it on PlayStation. I beat it on Xbox, and I know I 100% it because I love that game. I got every achievement, and so I kind of want to platinum Fallen Order because I think it got a PS5 Pro enhancement, if I remember right. So I want, and I'm pretty sure I own both of them on PlayStation, so I do want to play them both, but I want to replay the first one first because I remember really loving that game, and I do want to get the platinum for it. So I think I'm going to replay Fallen Order, and then I'll go back to Survivor. I think Survivor, I might have fallen off of it because I think it was right around I got it right around when Helldivers came out, and so I dropped it because I was obsessed with Helldivers, obviously, when that came out. So I think that's why I fell off, but I could be wrong. And it was a little glitchy, but yeah, I'm excited to play Survivor eventually. But yeah,
I didn't experience any glitches.
And especially because I'm like 98% sure it has a Pro enhancement, so I'm sure it runs like smooth as butter on PS5 Pro now. So I'll play it eventually. Yeah,
it's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a little longer than the first one, I think. I don't remember how long it is. Off the top of my head, making this up, I want to say it's probably like 30 hours, maybe. It's good. It's really
30
good.
30 hours?
The first one I really enjoyed, too. The ending of the first one was pretty awesome. Sean, you got to play it sometime.
Yeah, I know. I've been meaning to. I own both of them. I've owned them since they came out.
Yeah, they're very fun. All right, so that was my number 3. How about you? Sean, you're number 2, right?
No, Midnight. Hodge is
my number 2. I just
wrote
some of them. But
sorry,
my number 2 is another game that came out in 2005, the same year as Lego Star Wars, and that is Star Wars Battlefront 2. These games were so good. So I'm pretty sure these were both of them Pandemic. I think so.
Both of them Pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, Pandemic, just one of the GOAT studios that doesn't exist anymore. But these games were so much. I remember hopping in. This was one of the first games I ever played online because there was like the hero mode or whatever, where you only play as like the Jedi and Han Solo and like all that kind of stuff. And I still remember playing Mos Eisley, playing with that, or jumping around as Darth Maul, and just it was so much fun.
Hodge, it
These
was
games,
Conquest on Mos Eisley. That's the game mode you were thinking of. Conquest on Mos Eisley.
Yeah. So speaking of Conquest, Lord of the Rings Conquest, also made by them, amazing game. It's the same thing, but Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
But yeah, this game was incredible. And then obviously too, that's when it added like the space battles and stuff like that. There was way more planets. This game was genuinely like a perfect game. I loved this game so much. And the second you earned like the ability to come in as like as the hero, you're like, oh yeah, you go and just slaughter the other team. It's oh my god, it's so much fun. Yeah, I was so sad when EA just ruined these games.
Oh my god.
Like when
Don't get started.
when they announced they were bringing back Battlefront, I still remember that teaser at E3 where it's just Hoth and you see the foot of the AT-AT hit the ground. And it's like Battlefront. I'm like, what? And then it came out and it's like, oh no. Like now they play well, but it's just
it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not. It doesn't feel
it's
remotely
Battlefield
the same.
with Star Wars.
Yeah, because the Battlefront, the OG Battlefront games were so arcadey, and now it's like it's just an FPS, but it's in Star Wars, and so it just doesn't have that same. It doesn't have that same feeling.
They're not bad games, but they're not Battlefront.
Yeah, and then of course Battlefront 2, the new one where you play as like you're playing as the Empire, and what a surprise, she's good. But
ooh, I didn't see it coming.
And then they crammed a bunch of member berries in there and crap, like Luke Skywalker and Lando are going to be in the campaign because of course they are. And yeah, not good. But OG Battlefront 2, amazing, and that is why it is my number 2 favorite Star Wars game of all time.
All right. No comment. Haven't played it, sadly. Sean, thoughts? And your number 2.
I'm just going to get right into my number 1 and number 2 at the same time. Because it's Battlefront 1 and 2. That's my... I'm going Battlefront 1 and then Battlefront 2 as 1 and 2. Oh, 2 and 1. Honestly, these games are freaking perfect games, like Hodge just said. I remember discovering this Battlefront 1 at my friend's house in 2005. And it was like a couple months before Battlefront 2 came out. And it was right before Revenge of the Sith came out in theaters. I remember he let me borrow it and playing it and being like, this is the greatest game of all time. And this is where you got the classic In Galactic Conquest. That was in Battlefront 1. I remember playing through Galactic Conquest and it ends. They teased Revenge of the Sith. It had some Revenge of the Sith stuff in it in Battlefront 1. And I was like, what? No, the movie needs to come out now. But I had to wait like 2 months, obviously. And then when Battlefront 2 came out, it was like, it took everything Battlefront 1 did and just made it better. Like, all the little things that Battlefront 1 were, like, a little janky were gone in Battlefront 2. Adding the ability to play as, like Hodge said, the heroes or the villains. Like Hodge said, when you are running around a planet, you get the little, press the right directional pad on the right D-pad, and you get to play as General Grievous running around with your lightsabers, and you're freaking unstoppable. It's, like, insane. It was so much fun. Me and my friends would boot up instant action. We would play. We would queue up like 30 maps and just play through them like all night. Oh my god! Battlefront 1, we would mainly play Kashyyyk Docks. Hodge, you remember the Kashyyyk Docks map?
Oh yeah, I love Kashyyyk. That map was so awesome.
You play in Battlefront 1. You play as the snipers. Kashyyyk Docks. You just sit out there with your sniper, just pick people off. Oh my god, that was a blast. Yeah. And then Battlefront 2. Yeah. Playing on the Death Star, that was so much fun. And then the space battles, infiltrating like the Imperial starships and like taking them down from the inside. Then you get the timer in the top right. Get out in 30 seconds or it's gonna blow. And you gotta like run out. Oh my god, these games are freaking amazing. Galactic Conquest and Battlefront 2. I know I'm like yelling. I don't know why. Galactic Conquest and Battlefront 2. That was such a cool game mode because it was like. You had if you had the advantage, you could like try to take over a planet, or if your opponent had the advantage, they would try to take over one of your planets, and you would have to fight them off. But you would have you'd be at a disadvantage. They'd have like 100 more troops than you, and then it was basically you went until you basically controlled every planet. So Galactic Conquest in Battlefront 2 could last so freaking long because you had to like take command of like it was like a giant. It would show like space. It would show all the planets. You basically had to control all the planets to win. It was so different than Galactic Conquest in the first one because in the first one it was like a legit story mode. Super fun. This made me like this. I was a Star Wars fan, but these two games made me like enjoy Star Wars even more. Like it made me like I remember after playing Battlefront 1 going to my dad and being like, we need to rewatch episode 4, 5, and 6, and then we need to watch 1 and 2 again. And like this was what like put me over the edge to be like a super Star Wars fan as a kid. Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like I said, when I played Battlefront 1 for that first time, seeing it being like, is this a real game, right? Like, what am I like? How have I never heard it? And then my friend telling me, oh, guess what? In 2 months, Battlefront 2 is coming out. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so good. I can't say enough good things about these games. They're so good.
I'm telling you, Midnight. You got, and then when I played it last year and got the platinum on them, and just I played it for like 100 hours and just grinded out all those medals. Like that was so much fun because I just get to play the game.
I'm probably, when I do eventually finally get around to this on PlayStation, I will go for the platinum. Even if it's the grindiest thing ever, I love these games so much that I'm not even gonna hate it because the amount of hours I put into these games as a kid, it's unbelievable.
The fun part about the grind though is you're just playing instant action over and over again. And like you're just playing the matches, and you play like 4 or 5 matches in like 30 minutes, and you're golden. It's super fun. So good. Oh my god! And even like. Sorry. Even like not even getting the hero character, but like remember how sometimes it wouldn't be a hero, but it'd be like an extra like if you're playing as a CIS, you got like the I forget what it was, like this giant robot thing that kind of looks humanoid. You remember this, Hodge, right?
I'm trying. It sounds familiar, but I'm trying.
Yeah, like you got like special troops you could play as, like one of them on the when you play as the Empire, you got like the Dark Trooper you could play as.
Yeah, I do remember you were able to unlock like more powerful, because I remember like the Droideka, the rolling one was one you had to unlock eventually and stuff like that.
Get the shield and the Droideka and just sit there with a gun. Yeah, no one's taking it down.
Yeah, so good,
dude. Capture the Flag in that game was fun too.
Everything was great in that game. It was perfect. I love that game so much.
Yeah, super fun.
All right.
So yeah, that was my 1 and 2.
Well, there you go. See, you all right. We didn't talk about this before, but I did mine a little different because my number 1 is actually 2 games combined. But that's okay. We can do it a little different, no problem.
Let me guess.
No guesses.
2
We're not.
It's Yoda stories.
Oh my god!
It
is. It's actually Star Wars: A Christmas Story, the game.
For Star Wars: A Christmas Story, you'll shoot your eye out.
For the Game Boy Advance.
You'll shoot your eye out.
No, for the exclusively on the Game Gear, Sega Game Gear. So.
There you go.
All right. I'm up with my number 2.
Yes, sir.
All right. My number 2 is a game that you guys haven't played, I'm quite sure, but I bet you would love it if you did, but you won't. And that is going to be Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO. The Star Wars MMO by BioWare. This is a game that any Star Wars fan could lose. This could be if you only had one game to play, if you're on a deserted island, and somehow you have a computer and internet and everything that you need to sustain yourself. This would be like the game that you could pick that could last you like just for thousands of hours of content because it has so much. This is like a single player MMO kind of. It is an MMO, but it's mainly story focused, and you can play it single player. It's got 8 different character classes, and each one has an awesome story, and it's fully voice acted. And just like BioWare games that you're used to, like Mass Effect and stuff, you make choices. It's got the choice wheel. You can pick light side or dark side choices. You can play a Jedi but be dark side, like you could kill people and like and stuff with the Jedi. You could be a Sith but be light side and like spare people and stuff. It's kind of cool. I actually had a Sith Inquisitor who was light side, and that was kind of cool. But yeah, like 8 awesome stories. Like you could be there's a smuggler, there's a bounty hunter, there's an Imperial agent, there's an Imperial trooper, there's of course the Sith Inquisitor and the Sith warrior or whatever. There's the Jedi Guardian and some other Jedi. There's just all kinds of stuff. all awesome stories. And then they have all these DLCs that come out too that have awesome stories. And it's freaking awesome. There's so much story content that you can do with choices that actually affects the story. It's crazy how they do it. And then they have their little flashpoints, which are like little, like little story raids or something, which also have stories and choices. Like one of the first one is you board a ship and you make the choice whether you're going to vat some people out into space or take the longer way around to save them and have to fight more enemies and things like that. And what's cool about it is if you're in a party, it does like a dice roll to decide who wins the roll. And it's kind of funny, like if you're the good guy, right? So you pick that you're going to save the people, but the evil dude wins the dice roll and they get vatted out into space. So everybody watches them get thrown out to space and die. It's pretty funny. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's a cool game. Tons of content. Every single line is voice acted, high quality, amazing. This is an amazing Star Wars game. It is an MMO, but it's really a single player game. Like you don't have to play this game with anyone else. At the end game stuff, they do have like some, like some PvP and like some bigger events that you can do with other people, but you can completely pay for hundreds, if not thousands of hours just doing all the character story quests by yourself. So Star Wars, The Old Republic, the MMO, my number 2 pick.
Heard great things about this game. Super amazing things actually. But if Final Fantasy couldn't get me to play an MMO, I don't think Star Wars will. I'm sorry. The only MMOs that I played were Club Penguin and Toontown. So very different.
So this game really isn't an MMO. It's honestly like a single player game.
I bet you it's the way that people describe it to me is like you can play it single player. It's very similar to Final Fantasy 14 where you don't have to interact with anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the thing is, the combat is kind of ass. It's tab targeting, kind of like World of Warcraft and stuff. And it's like it's not complicated combat at all. It's really easy. You play this game for the story, and that's it. You're just doing the story and the choices and stuff. But yep, that's my number 2. All right, I know you guys don't have thoughts on that. So, Hodge, what is your number 1?
Yeah, I remember seeing that game really quickly, seeing it announced, and it was like, oh, another BioWare Star Wars game. And then they're like, it's an MMO. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, I was disappointed when it was an MMO too, but it turned out to be good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. My number 1 is in the same vein as a game we talked about earlier, and that is Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy.
Oh, I remember that.
This was like the first game that I remember playing obsessively online. So obviously the game itself was really fun. It was, it was the same as Jedi Knight 2 and all that kind of stuff. It was the very same as that, but there was an online game mode called Siege, which was basically like for anyone who played Battlefield like recently, where you take points and you keep pushing the enemy back and they try and hold you from being able to push forward. It was that. And there was 3 levels. It was Hoth, like Mos Eisley or Tatooine or whatever. And then there was this Jedi Temple. And the Jedi Temple, everyone played as Jedi, whereas the other 2 you played as like soldiers and stuff like that. But the game modes were so insanely addicting, and I got pretty good at it. And I just remember it was the first like online game that I think probably ever played, if I'm being honest, because this game came out in 2003. I don't think there were many online games before that. Obviously, other than like World of Warcraft and stuff, but so I remember playing this and just being absolutely obsessed with this game. The story mode was fun. I do remember feeling like I was like a hacker man you could open up like the coding and then you type in like God mode or something and you can make yourself invincible. And I do remember though, because I did that once, and there was a level that you're supposed to lose to the boss. And so I kept hitting him like, why won't he die? And then I find out it's because you're supposed to let him kill you so the story can progress. But I was in God mode, so it wouldn't let me like die. And so eventually I found out I had to turn it off, and then I was able to progress and stuff. But yeah, those games were I would kill for these games to just, they don't need to be remade, just remastered them. Just put them in as is on the, I'm pretty sure actually, I think they're backwards compat. I'm pretty sure I have this game on Xbox, but I would love for like, just like new controls and to revive the server so I can play Siege again, because that was so much fun. But actually in Fortnite, your guys' favorite game, they just added 3 Star Wars modes, and one is called Siege, and I'm very curious if it is the siege mode from this game. Because if I can do that, if I can play that game mode again, I'll be so happy. Yes, you guys are 6-7ing all over. But but yeah, I just absolutely love this game. It is by far my favorite Star Wars game of all time. It was really close between this and Battlefront 2, but this one, just because I remember how obsessively I played it online, that I was like, I have to. Jedi Academy Siege Mode is one of my favorite online experiences I've ever had. It was so much fun. So that is why it is my favorite Star Wars game of all time.
This is why Star Wars video games are freaking out and unreal.
Oh, they're so good. I mean, they used to be.
They are good.
There's still some good
They still
ones.
are.
There's still some good ones.
Jedi
But
Survivor's great.
it used to be like every year we got an awesome Star Wars game. And now it's like, oh, when's the next Jedi Fallen Order game coming out?
When's the next Lego game?
But there's a couple in development that I'm super excited about.
Yeah, Fate of the Old Republic, the Racer game coming out.
The KOTOR remake is allegedly still in development.
Yeah, apparently it's still being made.
Allegedly. Second grade.
The what?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, Midnight, you're number one, baby. Let me guess. It is Roar of Coat.
Yes,
Roar of Coat, yep.
So yeah, good pick there, Hodge, with your number one. Shout out to the Jedi Knight games. Jedi Academy and Jedi Outcast came out pretty much back to back. Both awesome games, very similar. So both great games. My number one, to no surprise for anyone, Knights of the Old Republic. But what I did, Sean, is I just put Knights of the Old Republic 1 and Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Yeah.
Because they're both incredible. That's my number one. That way I could include more games.
If I were to do that with Battlefront, KOTOR would have been on my list.
Okay, good. But yeah, because if I have to rank it, I'd say KOTOR 1 is a smidge, like a micro smidge better than KOTOR 2, but they are so close. They are both so good. Like KOTOR is like a 100 out of 100, and KOTOR 2 is like a 99. Like they're both masterpiece games. I thoroughly recommend both. They're incredible. I can't wait for the remake if it ever comes out. I mean, they keep saying it's in development, but it seems to be in hell. Who knows? Yeah. If this game comes out, everyone in the world needs to play it, or I'm going to show up to your house and force you to play it. So
see, I'm at the point where I want to play these, because again, this is one of those where I remember specifically seeing my brother playing it back because he loved these games, and I remember watching him play it and seeing him hit someone with a lightsaber and it's saying miss, and that pissed me off so much.
Because it's a role playing game.
Yeah, and so I was like, I don't want to do that because if I hit them with my lightsaber, I want it to hit. So I remember that just wrote it off completely for me because again, I didn't like RPGs as a kid either, other than obviously Pokemon, which is
which in Pokemon, if you miss,
in role-playing games, the enemy has like evasion and defense stats, so there's like a roll method, and so you can miss. But as a kid, or when you're just used to action games, you're like, this doesn't make sense. I swung.
So I just never played it, but then I always heard how great the story was, and so I'm at the point where it's like I want to play them, but I kind of also just want to wait for the remake at this point. So I'm like, I'm so torn between, like, if they come out and say, sorry, the remake's canceled, then I will hop into the original. But at this point, I'm kind of just like, I kind of just want to wait for that to come out. So
you might as well just wait, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was of that mindset in 2021, and then I waited 3 years, and I said, screw it, I'm playing the original, and now it's been 2 more years, and it's still not out. So, so I played the original. I freaking loved it. I think this game was way ahead of its time, given when it came out, for the stuff that it does. How meaningful some of the choices are that you make, like they come back later in the game. It was way ahead of its time. I think the combat still holds up, but again, I like RPGs and I like stuff like that, so I think the combat's good. Story's incredible. I still need to play the sequel. I still haven't played the sequel, so I still need to
the sequel's awesome.
I do remember seeing my friend play the sequel, and the dark side of it, like they seem to heavily they harp on like the dark side a lot more in the sequel. It's like more like pushed upon you. I don't know. So I'm looking forward to playing the sequel though.
The dark side is made by Obsidian, and it's a lot more of an actual role playing game. It's got deeper RPG and deeper, I don't know, tendrils and choices and stuff. You'll see. It's good. Most people like KOTOR 1 more though, but 2 is great too. I think you'll definitely like 2. You'll probably like 1 more though. Most people do, but I definitely don't think you'll finish 2 and be like, man, that was a waste of time. I'm sure you'll like it a lot.
I better not.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, Hodge, I would wait for the remake. You might as well. It'll be here in the next 5 years, probably, maybe. But if they do come out and be like it's dead, then yeah, just go dust off the old one. Unfortunately, the combat at this point is dated and kind of janky. But play it for the story.
I still think it
does. Yeah, it's fine. It's serviceable.
There are a lot of old quote unquote janky games that I've played that are fine. There are some where I've gone back, so I'm like, God, how did I ever play this game? But then there's some where I'm just like, this is still fantastic. Like Spyro, still great, amazing.
Force choke you, Sean. Yeah, but yeah, no, play it for the story, dude. The story is incredible. All right, so there we go for the audio listeners. Sean, recap, please.
All right, for the audio listeners, all 5. You want me to do everyone's games?
All 5, do it. No, just your 5. Your 5.
For audio listeners, my number 5 was Lego Star Wars, the video game. Any of them, really. Preferably the original, but you can't go wrong with any of them. Number 4 was Star Wars Episode 3, the game. The Game Boy Advance version, specifically the 2.5, beat 'em up, but again, the console version is still good. Number 3, Star Wars Empire at War, and its expansion, as Hodge mentioned. This is still getting fan mods on Steam, so the game is incredible. And then my 1 and 2 was Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars Battlefront 2, because those games are freaking amazing. I was yelling during that segment, so brace your ears. If you somehow skipped it, came here, and then you're like, I'm going to go back and listen.
That's awesome. The Empire War really looks awesome. I love Steam.
Dude, the game is so good.
Steam's such a great platform. They're still supporting it with mods, yeah. I might buy it for $5.
Great game.
Yeah. Yeah, I get 97% overwhelmingly positive. So there you go. Hodge, recap, please.
Number 5, Lego Star Wars, a video game as well. Love that game. 4 is The Force Unleashed. 3 is Episode 1 Racer. 2 is the Battlefront 2, the OG PS2 one, obviously, not the new one. And then number 1 is my favorite, is Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Mostly because of Siege mode. But yes, those are my 5.
All right. And Midnight, that's me. My number 5 was Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. 4 was Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game. Star Wars Jedi Survivor was my 3. Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO, was 2. And at number 1 was a 2-for-1 special. Knights of the Old Republic, or KOTOR, 1 and 2. Sean, why was that funny? 2-for-1 special.
I was thinking something that I shouldn't have been thinking about. 2-for-1 special.
Get your mind out of the gutter, man.
Listen, my mind's been in the gutter for a while.
All right. How about we go through some honorable mentions real quick? You guys got some you want to share, Sean?
Yeah, so for honorable mentions for me, again, I had KOTOR as one of them. That was definitely an honorable mention. Honorable mention again was the Super Nintendo. Not Super Nintendo. The NES Star Wars Empire Strikes Back game. Anyone ever played the NES one?
Those are so hard.
I probably did, but
they're so hard, but they're so much fun. We had them on that. It was one of those, like, this game is ridiculously hard. Like, good luck with this.
NES games just in general were hard as fuck. I think, like, that was the replay value. They're like, we're just going to make games hard as hell so people have to play it for a long time.
And they were also in arcades, so that'd be their way of getting you to sink more quarters in because you kept dying.
True.
Another honorable mention for me is Star Wars Obi-Wan for X-Men. No, I'm kidding. That game is horrendous. No, but
so was the show.
What?
So was the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately,
the Star Wars pinball Episode 1 pinball machine that was like they brought that out in '99 for the Phantom Menace game. My dad is a huge pinball guy, like huge pinball guy. Like that's like one of his favorite things. To the point like he has like 4 pinball machines. They're actually currently here because again, this is his house, soon to be my house. Very confusing. But they're still here. He's like a Metallica one, but he is obsessed with pinball and he has like a 99 original Phantom Menace one. It's like ridiculous. It's super cool.
Nice.
It was so much fun. I like pinball as well, not as much as him, but the Star Wars ones are super cool. They actually just came out with a new Star Wars one for celebrating Return of the Jedi, which is really cool. But yeah. Oh, and then another honorable mention for me. Last one was Star Wars the Battlefront games. But like, Hodge, did you ever play like the handheld, the Renegade Squad? Oh, you didn't have a PSP, did you? No, you did.
I did, but I didn't have that game.
Okay, there was 2 of them. There was Renegade Squadron and then Elite Squadron. They were pretty fun games. They weren't like the OG Battlefront games. Like they were a little different. They played a little different, but they were still really fun. They were still competent handheld games. So shout out to those games too.
All right. Good stuff. I'll get into mine real quick. So I had Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, awesome game. I had Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, the remakes, guys. Go ahead and shame me.
Jesus Christ.
Go ahead and shame me, guys. Because I've actually played the remakes, and I don't think they were amazing, but they were a bit of fun. They do have a bit of an arcadey feel, but I get what you're saying.
I played
the arcadey feel comes from. Go ahead, Sean.
No, I was gonna say I played the first remake for it was one of the games that I actually got into with one of my friends. We probably played it for 50 hours online.
Like it was fun, like when you earned the actual like heroes and you could call in like Yoda or Darth Vader and then go around and mess people up. Like that was super fun. But yeah, beyond that, it did pretty much just feel like Battlefield, pretty much, but with lasers, you know.
Yeah.
But when you got to call in the superheroes, you get to run around as like freaking Boba Fett or freaking Yoda. Like that was awesome, right? But anyway, so that was that. And then my last one, this one, you got Lockmort will know about this for sure. Star Wars Galaxies. Now, this was the original Star Wars MMO. This game was awesome. This was a sandbox, old school style MMO. You could not make, when this game came out, you could not make a Jedi. You could make a normal character, and it was a long progression. You had to like go through a long series of quests to become force sensitive, and then you had to go through a long series of quests to eventually become a Jedi. So when you saw a Jedi in town, it was like, whoa, because they were super rare.
It's him!
Yeah, they were super rare. So when you saw a Jedi, it was freaking awesome.
He's fucking
in this game, you had to learn abilities from other players. Like you learn skills from other players. Players would like play as dancers. They would be in the cantina dancing. And because they would give other players healing and buffs. So like they actually had a reason for that. And like you would tip them and give them money and stuff. Like it was all a player run economy and it was super cool. And my character was a combat medic / bounty hunter, which was one of the best combat classes. One of the only classes that could go toe to toe with a Jedi and have a chance. But yeah, it was cool, dude. Anytime you would see a Jedi and a lightsaber pull out, it was like, whoa, dudes would be fighting outside the starports and stuff. It would be sweet. That game was awesome. Unfortunately, they ruined it though. Of course, they ruined it they like completely reworked it, and all of a sudden they made it so that everyone could become a Jedi from day one. Just make it its own class, and like you ruined the whole point of it. But anyway, Star Wars Galaxies. You guys don't care.
I had one more. I had one more honorable mention. That was Star Wars 1313. Okay, Hodge, you're up.
It's too bad we didn't get that. That's a shame.
See, so I already mentioned mine. I liked Episode 3 and Fallen Order, but the one I wanted to shout out that I always wanted to get into but never did was Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Oh my god, I was literally just thinking about that game.
Yeah, and that and Republic Commando. I've always wanted to play those, but I just never did. But I always heard good things about them. So I just wanted to shout those out, but they're not honorable mentions because I never played them. But
I played the first. I played Bounty Hunter when you played Jango Fett. I had it on PS2. It was pretty cool. It was interesting. It was like a fun game. It was weird. The controls were. It felt a little janky. It's definitely, if you played it now, it would definitely be dated. But it was cool to learn a little bit more about Jango because it takes place before Episode 2, and kind of I feel like they kind of rushed Jango Fett in Episode 2, like kind of just throw him in there and like, oh, it's Jango Fett. So you get to learn a little bit more about him, but it was still a fun game.
Yeah, I just looked it up on Steam because I never played that game either. It looks all right.
It's very janky. It's very janky.
84% mostly positive rating. Nice. Dude, it's in this bundle, 25 games for $60, dude. That's insane. I might have to buy this bundle, dude.
Dude, I bought a Humble Bundle a while back on my Mac, actually, funny enough, and it came with Jedi Academy, and it was like $15, and I just wanted Jedi Academy, so I got it. But I think Jedi Academy is one of 2 games I own on Steam. Like I don't use Steam ever, but I'm pretty sure I own it on Steam.
I mean, this includes like literally everything. It includes Star Wars Battlefront 2, the classic from 2005. It includes Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. It includes Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, The Force Unleashed 2, the Lego games, everything.
Sounds like a good deal.
$60, dude. Yeah, I might have to buy this. Yeah. I wonder if your Empire at War is in here too.
Oh, then there you go.
All right, I might have to invest. But anyway, let's keep it moving, boys. So we're done with that, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Let's move on to the movies. All right, boys. So we're going to go ahead and do our definitive ranking of the 11 movies. I have the list. We're going to go through it. This is going to be spoilers, guys. So if for some reason you haven't seen the Star Wars movies, go watch them and then come back to the podcast. All right.
Come back in
And also,
come back in 20 hours.
and what are you guys doing with your life if you still haven't seen Star Wars? Come on now. So here we go. Are you guys ready to go through this?
Yeah.
You guys don't know the list, but I'm about to give it to you.
I bet you I can guess it.
All right. What do you think the last one is? This is probably pretty obvious.
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Wrong.
Rise of Skywalker.
What? Because Midnight, when you put Last Jedi as number 1 on your list, freaking ruin our list.
Of course. What am I chimp? Freaking chimp thinks that movie's a masterpiece, dude. No, actually, you're not wrong. There's a tie. A tie for number 10 is Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi.
Interesting.
So yeah, these movies both suck. So the way we did this is The Rise of Skywalker was episode 9. Sean, you ranked it at number 9.
Yeah, I was the highest on it, probably, right?
Hodge and Midnight, me, we ranked it at 11. It was our least favorite.
So you like Last
movie is
Jedi
horrible.
more than...
Oh, absolutely. It's not
See,
even good.
I think Rise is the best of the trilogy.
Yeah, no, that's
But
fine.
that's like saying, but to me, that's like saying
That's way wrong.
that's the best of the piece of poop on the yard.
I don't understand how you could say Rise is better than The Force Awakens.
I think Force Awakens is awful.
Okay, well, I mean,
Like
Force
I
Awakens
walked
is
out of it,
almost
like
a
I will
shot
just
for
say this.
shot.
I walked
get
out of
to
the theater after Force Awakens knowing the entire trilogy was going to be trash.
All right, we'll get to Force Awakens later. We'll talk about it then. But yeah, so that was our rank. And then for The Last Jedi, we were pretty close. Sean, you rated it number 11, which is dead
Horrible
last.
movie.
Hodge and me, we each gave it a 10. So the average for these two games was a 10.33333. So that's why they're tied at number 10. The Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi, both ass, tied for last place.
Absolutely horrible movie, The Last Jedi.
Horrible
no
films.
plot, no plot whatsoever. Yeah, let's kill off Snoke. Oh, by the way, we have a million Snokes.
Well, the million
That-
Snokes was in
That
Rise of
scene was
Skywalker.
cool, though.
That scene is the only cool scene in the entire trilogy.
Yeah, dude, that fight where Ray,
Yeah, that's a
Ray and
cool
Kylo
scene.
team up and fight Snoke and the Imperial Guard or whatever. That
Yeah,
was
by the
sick.
way, we got 9 million Snokes cooking up in the lab over here.
Well, you're making fun of that, but as Hodge pointed out, that was in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
that wasn't in
Rise
The
of
Last Jedi.
Skywalker.
I don't care.
Everything bad they pushed into Rise of Skywalker.
Listen, the reason why I give Rise of Skywalker more credit than I mean, both of them suck, but
They do.
both of them is because Last Jedi was so bad that they had to try to correct everything in Rise of Skywalker that they had to.
Well, yeah, that's the worst part about this. I mean, there's many things wrong with the sequel trilogy, but the worst part is that they had episode 7 where J.J.
Horrible.
Abrams set up all these questions of what's this? Where'd you get the lightsaber? Who was your dad? Who's this? Blah, blah, blah. And then episode 8, Ryan Johnson came in and said, I don't care, and just undid everything and made his own movie, which was horrible. And then
Yeah.
episode 9, they came back and it's like, can we go back to episode 7? So they had to undo everything. They retconned the retcons, and it was just a horrible mess. And the movies are fucking terrible.
Absolute ass. Horrible movies.
Yeah.
They can
And
fly now!
episode 8 has one of the worst scenes ever, and that's the casino planet, which
Oh,
felt
it's
like
horrendous.
that felt so prequel to me. It was just
Yeah, it
this
was dumb.
horrible, like riding the weird llama things through the
I
town
like
or
the
whatever.
prequels.
And no, I like the prequels too, but there's a
We'll get
lot
to
of
the prequels.
there's a lot
We'll
of
get
bad
there.
CGI in the prequels,
Yes.
and that's what 8 reminded me of, is because that CGI was so terrible. And all of a sudden it was just like that movie tried introducing so many stupid themes that had nothing to do with the
Oh,
movie.
Rose,
Like,
she's so
I
cool.
grew- I grew up a poor person, and these planets are bad. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, the rich people, they make the TIE fighters and the X-Wing. It's like, yeah, we get it. It's just so stupid. Who cares?
The casino.
Like, how do you Rose? Like, come on. How do you find an ugly Asian chick? What the hell?
Listen,
I don't care.
That's
what-
hard to do.
the casino scene is so bad. Like the whole casino, but that was such a bad.
Dude.
That was
Oh,
horrible.
it's
The whole
the
movie.
worst.
Those movies. are
And
terrible.
then you just remind me with Rose though. At the end of episode 8, Finn is about to have this amazing, like, he's about to have this amazing moment of, like, he went from Imperial stormtrooper to he's gonna sacrifice himself for for the the cause, and then Rose hits him out of the way. She's like, "You can't do that," kisses him, and then like passes out. I'm like, what? And then in episode 9, all he does is stand around going, "Ring!" And then that's it. That's all he does in the last
The worst
movie.
part of the trilogy is the fact that originally Finn was supposed to have such a bigger role, and they backed out of it because of China.
Yeah,
So,
and they made him smaller on the poster.
Yeah, China hates black people.
Yep.
Yeah, they literally made him
talk
smaller.
about these though. Let's talk about these like not as a collective, but as separate films. So Rise of Skywalker was ass because freaking why they brought back the Emperor with no explanation at all.
Yeah,
all of a
go
sudden
read the
he just
novel.
comes back
Go
with a
read the
million.
novel.
It's
He comes back
because
with a million star fucking
it's
destroyers.
because
and
Kathleen
stuff.
Kennedy said, "Let's bring back the Emperor," and they had to.
Yeah,
General Snoke. Snoke was supposed to be, or Supreme Leader Snoke, whatever. He was supposed to be his own character, and then after they killed him in Episode 8, just randomly and no explanation of who he was, Kathleen Kennedy's like, "Well, what if it's the Emperor?" I'm like, okay. And which is why Episode 9 is worse, because it's a retcon of a retcon, and so that movie makes absolutely no fucking sense.
makes no sense. Yeah, and then Rey dies, and then Kylo saves her, but then he dies because he saved her. It's just so stupid.
And then they make out, and he says he's her uncle, I think, because of how she was born from Palpatine or something. It's so bad. It's just
how would he be related to her if she's Palpatine?
So Kylo Ren,
he's Ben Solo.
I thought there were I can't remember. Someone said they were related in some way.
All I know is
he's Leia and Han's son.
There's so much wrong with these movies.
They're just terrible.
That's Ben Solo, Leia and Han's son. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Now, why is she calling herself Skywalker?
Oh, at the end,
because she trained with Luke for like a week. Now she's Skywalker.
Oh, I gotta send you guys this funny.
So stupid. So that movie was ass, and then The Last Jedi was ass too. Like the only cool thing about that whole movie was the fight scene with Snoke, but that made it better than Rise of Skywalker because there was nothing redeeming about Rise of Skywalker, in my opinion.
They're both trash. Let's just be honest.
They are, and that's why they tied for number 10.
So what was number
Do you
9?
guys have any other thoughts before we move on,
Yeah.
or we want to move on to better films?
Number 9.
Hold on, before we move on, I would just want to send you guys this meme. I'll put it in the episode also, just because it's so funny after you guys look at it. But it's my favorite like spoof of the ending of the movie. It's just who are you? I'm Ray. Ray who? And it looks over at the ghost and it's Ben Quadraneros. It goes Ray Quadraneros.
Wow, nice. All right, guys. At number 9, the number 9 film. This might surprise Sean. It was Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Yeah, Episode number 2, Attack of the Clones. By far the worst of the prequel trilogy. This one was lame.
So it's definitely the worst of the prequel trilogy, but it is infinitely better than the Disney crap.
I'm sorry to say, but you're wrong, Sean. So exactly. So here's how it worked out, Sean. You rated it was your number 6, right? But Hodge had it at 9, and I had it at 9. And by the way, Lockmort is not here, but he was going to be here at one point, and he gave me his rankings, and he had Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, at 10. So he agrees with us.
Yes, you're all.
And when we get to The Force Awakens, by the way, he's going to further support you being wrong. But anyway, maybe it's an age thing. It might be. The older people skew differently. But yeah, so Attack of the Clones was pretty ass. It was by far the worst of the prequels. Count Dooku, he came out of nowhere. Like, who the fuck is this dude? He was an ass villain. I didn't like him.
It should have been Maul.
The only cool scene, it should have been Maul. The only cool scene in Episode 2 was when you actually got to see Yoda for the first time whip out a lightsaber, and he was just doing flips and shit, and that was pretty cool. But overall, this movie was super mid. The CGI was really bad all throughout it. It wasn't a horrible film, but it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. No.
It just felt so wooden, because if you look at like the behind the scenes, it's literally just them on a big blue like set. There's nothing real in any of these movies. Even Episode 1 had real sets, even though they only went so high and then the rest was CGI. But this movie was like entirely blue screen, and it showed. It was so... I remember they also said they never made a single clone helmet like during the prequel trilogy, because they were all CGI, and it shows, and it's bad. But I understand I understand the argument of saying that this is better than anything in the sequel trilogy because the ideas of the prequel trilogy are actually really good. Like the rise to Emperor Palpatine's powers, turning it from the Republic into the Empire. Like that's all very good because it's all kind of historically accurate of how people, like how evil people rise to power. And so it's really good, but I just can't get over how bad the CGI is. Hayden Christensen, as much as I actually really like him as Anakin, especially in episode 3, he's not good in this. The writing is terrible. But I will say, even though I did rank it lower than Force Awakens, I understand that this one thematically is better than The Force Awakens. It's just the CGI and acting in this movie is so bad that it is the worst of the prequel trilogy. But I will accept saying this is better than anything in the sequel trilogy. It's just I personally put it.
I just think
wasn't Jar Jar all in this one too?
No,
Jar Jar was episode 1.
Jar Jar.
Okay.
Yeah. I think what
he
they
is
set
in this,
up, I think the
he
universe that they set up in the prequels is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
All the stuff they set up in it, but it's definitely the worst of the prequels. But I do think it's, like I said, I think it's better than anything Disney touched.
The Galactic Republic era is pretty awesome. So
I will say the thing I love about in this movie is something I did not realize as a kid, but looking back at it, you realize that in the scene where Anakin is slaughtering the Sand People, you hear Qui-Gon Jinn's ghost going, "Annie, no!" and he's yelling at him like trying to get him to stop from turning to the dark side, and that's a really cool little touch.
Also, the Coliseum scene at the end is pretty awesome when the clones get like unveiled. They come in. It's a pretty awesome scene.
Yeah, the Geonosis stuff.
Yeah.
But again,
that was a cool scene.
But again, the Geonosis stuff, it's just like, it looks so bad. The CGI.
I know, but you also have to remember the time the movie came out. That was a big thing. People were pushing a lot of that CGI stuff.
02, I think, is when this one came out.
People were pushing that. And in an alternate reality, if any of those CGI movies like they took off, that's what we'd be on right now.
I think if Attack of the Clones was just a little better acted and it had the CGI of the sequel trilogy, it would be an amazing movie.
Oh yeah, it'd be much better. Yeah.
And also, I didn't like that they made Boba Fett like a clone of Jango.
Yeah, Jango. Yeah, I didn't like that.
That was kind of meh. Yeah. But
so, Sean, did you want to give some positive bars for Attack of the Clones? I mean, you had it higher.
I mean, like I said, I think the Coliseum scene is awesome. I think I think the Attack of the Clones is where they really start setting up like the entire universe for the prequels. You start learning a lot more. And you see Boba Fett as a kid. You understand why he is a bounty hunter. Again, maybe I didn't really like that he's like a clone of Jango Fett, and that like all the clones are kind of based off of him. But I still think it's cool that what they set up. I really like young Obi-Wan. Like I love that like younger Obi-Wan trying to kind of just pretty much learn who he is since he witnessed his master get killed, kind of get thrown into the mix. Like he didn't want to train Anakin. Like that wasn't his thing. That was not something he wanted to do, but he had to do it. And then you kind of see them grow as friends. So I do like that. I actually do like Count Dooku. I think he's pretty cool,
Christopher Lee is just awesome.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, of course. And I'm a big Mace Windu guy. Like I love Mace Windu.
Oh, I love Mace Windu too.
I think he's so cool. So yeah. But
did you know that they edited him killing Jango? That he was originally supposed to like cut him to pieces, and they actually filmed it, but they edited it to where he was just swinging, because it's that entire scene where he's swinging his lightsaber. That's him cutting off limbs, but they edited it to not do it. But then he does obviously still cut his head off, but. Like it was literally him chopping his arms and legs off. Like though every swing was him taking a piece of him off, and they're like, "This is a little too violent." So they edited it down to just the head, which is crazy.
Well, Sean, at number 8, you think it's Force Awakens?
No, I think it's going to be Solo.
Well, you're right. It's Solo. Number 8 is Solo. This movie was trash. This movie's so bad, I literally don't remember anything about it. Honestly, I forgot it all. All I remember is that it sucked. Maybe I need to rewatch it.
I'd rather have a Lando movie with Donald Glover.
That'd be cool, actually. I would much rather have that.
Other than
Solo should have been kind of cool, but it was not.
Other than the fact that they made Lando like pansexual. Other than that, because
what?
He was in love with the robot in the movie. He was literally in love with the robot, and so he's like. In episode 5 and 6, he's a ladies' man, but nope. Yeah. In modern day, they had to make him pansexual who's in love with everyone. Yeah, and No, so the reason why I had this basically mid bottom of my list is for the same reason as you. Basically, it's forgettable. There's like,
Yeah.
I actually think Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo wasn't bad. I thought he did a pretty good job as him, and Donald Glover's Lando was good. But then you have that annoying lady as the robot. The plot is just him trying to find his way back to Amelia Clark, and she ends up like whoring herself out to make it through life and all that. She becomes a villain, and then I know they had to reshoot the crap out of this movie because the original villain dropped out, and they had to re-edit so much crap in this movie. And then the ending was so stupid, setting it up for the Darth Maul stuff where Amelia Clark's like, "Oh, I gotta contact my boss," and it's Darth Maul randomly. It's like, what?
Honestly, did anyone ask for a prequel? Like, oh, we need a Han Solo, or nobody asked for this crap.
Nope,
we sure didn't.
They were originally. That's the thing is, this was the first Star Wars movie to ever lose money in theaters because no one went to see it because it looked bad. Because originally, if you remember, this one is called Solo, a Star Wars story, because they were originally going to do Obi-Wan a Star Wars story, Boba Fett a Star Wars story. They were going to do all these movies, which is why now they got just extended and put into really crappy TV shows, because these were originally, this was supposed to kick off. I'm pretty sure they said they were going to do annual Star Wars movies because they did Force Awakens, then Rogue One, then Episode 8, then Episode 9.
Great.
But Solo lost money, and Rise of Skywalker made less than The Last Jedi because everyone hated The Last Jedi. That they're like, oh, we need to put all this on ice, which is why this year is going to be the first year we get a Star Wars movie in 7 years, 8 years, or whatever it is.
2019.
Yeah, so 7 years. So it's because this movie lost money because it was just so mid. I remember there were parts of this movie I enjoyed, but overall it was just mid and forgettable, which is why it's like, it's not as egregiously bad as the sequel trilogy and Attack of the Clones, even though actually thinking about it, I'd probably put Attack of the Clones above this. But it was just forgettable, which is why I just kind of had it in the middle of the list, because it's like, it's not so egregiously bad, but it's obviously also not good.
All right. So I have to make a confession here. I made a mistake. I was looking at the list that included Lockmort here, unfortunately. So I was looking at the wrong list. But it doesn't change too much, actually. The way it works with the consensus trio list here is that we actually have a three-way tie at number 7. So Attack of the Clones and Solo are tied at number 7 on our list with another movie, which I'll mention next. So there you go.
Can I guess it?
Yeah, a little bit better, Sean. Attack of the Clones isn't worse than Solo. It's tied in our list, in our ranking.
The next one on here is going to be Force Awakens because of me, because I ranked it
exactly right.
10.
You're exactly right. So with Solo, though, what was interesting about Solo is that we all gave it an 8. 8, 8, 8. Even Lockmort, who's not here, he also gave it an 8. So consensus number 8 across the board for Solo, which gave it an 8.
It was the best worst movie.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. So that's Solo tied at number 7 on our list. Sorry, guys. So Attack of the Clones and Solo tied at number 7. And then Force Awakens comes in also tied at number 7 here. And then the way the rankings work out for that, Sean, you gave it a number 10 somehow. Hodge, you and I both gave it ranked at number 7. Lockmort, who's not here, had it as his number 4 favorite. The Force Awakens. Now, I find it interesting that you hated The Force Awakens so much, considering that it is almost a shot-for-shot remake of A New Hope.
That's why it's bad. That's why it's bad.
Oh, that's why you hated it so much?
It's a shot-for-shot remake, but worse. I think Poe's a horrendous character. I think he's awful. I think the coolest. I think the interrogation scene of him with Kylo is so stupid. They're trying to be like funny, but at the same time serious. It's like that is like so dumb. I think that like Rey being on Jakku and running around and like, I think that's so dumb. The whole this hunk of junk and this hunk of junk fly, and it's a freaking Millennium Falcon. That is so dumb. Like, come on, we didn't need that. Like,
why is that dumb? It was an old ship. She didn't know it was the Millennium Falcon.
You don't need that though. You could give us a different ship.
Yeah,
But remember, Remember the Millennium Falcon? Sean?
She's also the very definition of a Mary Sue character. She was perfect at everything. She was the best pilot. She was the best tech. She was the best at fighter. She's just perfect. I mean, I remember after leaving this movie just thinking I liked her only because I thought Daisy Ridley was hot, but but
that does help.
Yeah, but then later realizing
they lay up Finn with the lightsaber. Like Finn should have had the light. Like I thought Finn was going to be force sensitive, and they didn't do that. I think like all of a sudden, like I know Kylo gets hurt, but he all of a sudden like Rey's beating him at a lightsaber. Like come on, Kylo's been training forever. He could have one hand. Like even with one hand, he should be dominating.
She has no training. Yeah,
he should be dominating.
And like maybe they could have made it. They could have maybe made that make sense if they put a scene in there like maybe she was good with a staff or something, like where she was fighting and training with a staff. Then maybe it would have made a little sense because she'd had some martial arts prowess. But she had like they gave us no reference at all that she had any skill. She just picks up a lightsaber and beats Kylo. Like what?
I think Poe's a horrendous character. Like I hate it. And then him and Finn are all of a sudden like they're like, oh, I love you, man, dude. You met for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Then I remember
Captain Phasma. Terrible.
Well, that's all right. So yeah, I'm gonna go through a list of reasons why I hated this movie then and more reasons why I hate it now. But so at the time, before 8 and 9 came out, I left giving it the benefit of the doubt that these questions that were asked were gonna be answered. Where's the lightsaber come from? Why was Captain Phasma only in it for 30 seconds and she was useless? Why was Luke only at the end? Because I figured, next episode he'll be great. Nope. And then like, why is there another Death Star? Where'd this come from? How's the first
There's
order
always
still
a Death Star.
Yeah. And so there, I had all these questions of like, and complaints of like, that wasn't great. That wasn't blah, blah, blah. But I figured the sequels would make it better. Oh, and also the Wrath Tar scene is one of the worst fucking scenes ever in a Star Wars movie. I hated that scene with the
which scene?
Where they're on the ship that Han Solo and Chewie are driving, and the giant like rolly ball things are
that seems awful.
Rolling around eating everyone with the tentacles and shit. And yeah, it was horrible. But then just in hindsight, all those questions not being answered makes the movie even worse because it asks all these questions that are never like, where did Luke's lightsaber come from? Who cares? It's if it fell off of Cloud City into God knows where, but somehow they found it. Like
it's such a small universe, isn't it?
Also, if you didn't know that Han Solo was dying in the scene where he walks out on that, like, get the heck out of that theater. You didn't know that. It was so obvious.
And then I remember the fan theory headcanon was, did he do it on purpose because Kylo Ren's a double agent and he needs to do this to turn himself bad? Like he has, because I don't know if I have the strength to do it was, I don't know if I have the strength to kill you, to move to the dark side, to take down the Force. Like that's really like the fan theories that were going on, which would have been way smarter than just, I don't know if I have the strength to kill you because I'm a whiny little bitch. So the 8 and 9 just makes 7 so much worse, but at the time I enjoyed it also because even with Last Jedi, visually these movies are actually gorgeous. They are very well shot. They're gorgeous movies, but the plots are fucking terrible, and obviously they had no cohesive plan because honestly these movies exposed J.J. Abrams as a terrible writer. I don't think because
he didn't write this. He just copied 4.
Well, yeah.
Switch the names.
But I remember I heard that apparently J.J. Abrams never writes the ending to anything he writes. Like he can't write an ending. He'll ask all these mystery box questions, is the term that's been coined by, because I think Lost was the same. He wrote Lost and he asked a million questions of who was this, who was this, who was this, but he never answers anything. He's not a good writer. And it shows because J.J. Abrams, I think he's leaving Hollywood. I think people are starting to realize, you're not very good at your job, are you? So, I was so excited for this movie when it came out. It was visually gorgeous. Like I still remember having the credits come down and it goes down. You see the ship come across, like it eclipses a planet. You're like, ooh, this is so cool. And then they go down onto the planet and it just looks good. But it's a horrible fucking movie. But I think after talking about it, I think Sean's right. I think Attack of the Clones is better than this one.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it on the list as is. Obviously, we're going through it, but I mean, thankfully, it's tied right now. So
I don't know.
But
I'm gonna stick to my rating.
This movie.
Let me.
In hindsight, it's just
telling
so
you,
bad.
rewatch them all. I rewatched them all recently. Ugh,
I did a year or two ago.
It's even worse.
So let me give some bars here for this. So The Force Awakens, I thought it was good. Did I give the scores? So Sean, you had a 10,
Yeah.
Hodge and 7, and Locke 4. So yeah, I mean it's basically a shot for shot remake of 4, right? I think Kylo Ren is an awesome villain, other than being a little bit of a whiny bitch. But I think he's awesome. I love his mask. I like his lightsaber. It took me a little while to warm up to his lightsaber, but now I really do like it. I think it's pretty cool. That scene at first where he comes out and he uses the Force to literally stop the blaster bolts was freaking sweet. It was really cool. But yeah, and then of course, you got to stop the droid and get the plans escape on the droid, and then they go find the new hero and blah. It's just it's kind of weird. But it's a beautifully shot film, great CG. Ray is semi hot. That's a plus. I couldn't hate this movie because it was basically just A New Hope, but for a new generation, right? What I hate is where they went with it. That's what I hate. They completely ruined what could have been. It was funny when this movie came out. All of my friends were glazing it. Everyone was like on Facebook, because that's what everyone was using Facebook back then. Everyone on Facebook was like, "Oh, this is the best movie ever! Oh my god, The Force Awakens is so good!" And I was one of the only people hating on this movie. I was like, "Guys, what are you talking about? This movie was just okay." This movie was literally a shot for shot remake of A New Hope. And everybody at the time when this movie was brand new in theaters, they didn't see it. They were arguing with me. They were like, "No, it wasn't. This movie was great. It was not just a remake."
A little with that,
yeah. I'm like, no, and I literally had to break it down, and I'm like, but like anyway. So The Force Awakens, yeah, that's enough of that. I think it's a little bit better than Attack of the Clones, personally, for me, just because I didn't care that much about the villain in Attack of the Clones. It's horribly acted, and the CG has aged terribly, but they're close. They're really close.
All right. Next up,
shall we move on?
Can I guess what's next?
Yes, guess.
It's either going to be Phantom Menace or Rogue One.
You're right. Yeah. Which one, though? Double down. Which one?
I'm going to say Phantom Menace.
You are correct. Yeah. At number 6, Phantom Menace. Now, let's see what the scores were for this. I am on the right list, by the way. This is the trio now. I'm not messing up no more. Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Sean, you had it at 4. Hodge, 6. Me, 6. And then randomly, for no reason, Lockmort, 6. But our trio score, that's a 5.33, puts it at number 6, Phantom Menace. Hodge, what did you think of Phantom Menace? Give us some bars for this.
So I understand I have a little bit of nostalgia glasses for this one, but I love this movie. I genuinely love this movie. The one thing I will say, so as a kid, I unabashedly loved everything about it. Every second of this movie I loved as a kid, except I thought Jar Jar was a little annoying. As an adult, I love every second of it, except Jar Jar is the most annoying fucking character in any movie ever made, and I hate him and I want him to die.
Can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to say, I think we all agree here. We are now entering here in this top 6. We are now entering good film territory. Yeah, all 6 of these are good. The previous 5s,
everything but Rogue One for me.
Oh, okay. Man. Well, in my opinion, and I think most people's opinion, these 6 are all very good films. The previous 5 that we talked about were mid to bad.
I think Attack of the Clones is good, but that's just me.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so I love pod racing. I know it's kind of dumb to like use 30 minutes of a movie doing pod racing kind of thing. Like I get that, but cool, and I will say just second only to Jar Jar Binks. I hate that it ruined his life, but Jake Lloyd is a horrible actor.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah. And I feel so bad because he's also in Jingle All the Way, which is a great Christmas movie that I love. Terrible in both of these movies. He is just a bad actor. I feel so bad that like ruined his life. He got bullied to like shit where he like turned to drugs and stuff. Like he hated the fact that he was in Star Wars, like, and all that. So like, I feel so bad for him, but he's terrible as Anakin. Like it should have been like a teenage Anakin. It shouldn't have been a child. Yes. Like, I don't know why they did that. Also, I don't like that
this was the first time, obviously with it being the prequels, that they basically turned the Jedi. It was always like a religion, quote unquote, of the Jedi, but they turned them into like monks, where it's like any emotion you have will be, you mean you're evil. And it's like, no, like in the original trilogy, it was like, just don't succumb to your bad thoughts. But it's not like Luke Skywalker didn't have a bad day. Like, obviously at the end of, we'll get to it, but like he has a little rageful moments, and that's normal. And so the fact that it was basically like, you must be Zen all the time, there's no emotion in a Jedi. It's like, all right, come on. But obviously, and then obviously Darth Maul, awesome. He's the coolest. Awesome. Again, like you said, Duel of the Fates is one of the greatest songs ever. It's so good. So there's so much I love about this movie. I understand people's complaints with it. The CGI is terrible, but it was in 99, this movie, or 98 or 99.
99.
I'm blanking. 99. That's right. I was 8 and it was 99 it came out. But I love this movie, even though it's I understand when people say it's not good, but I think it's better than people give it credit for. Just the CGI and Jar Jar and Jake Lloyd are my biggest complaints with it. But overall, I like, and I mean, just I guess the Gungans in general are all annoying as shit. Like, they're all really annoying characters. But yeah, overall, I like this movie. So
here's what I think. I think the good in this movie is really, really good. The bad is really bad. But I think the good greatly outweighs it. I think anything that is like Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, anything that is like that, I think it's awesome. I think it's really, really good. I think they do a great job. I know people are like, oh, all the politics. I think it's super fascinating how it's like they're like the politics of the galaxy.
It's about the rise of the Empire.
Yes,
it's
I think
really
it's super,
good.
and you can see the seeds that Palpatine is planting like early on. I think it's awesome, especially because like as a kid, like my dad showed me them in episode 1. He showed me it like that. And so I didn't know who this guy was. So like I'm like, who is like, oh, this is so like I thought it was super cool. I think it's awesome. For me, what I think they should have done, I don't think they should have introduced Anakin until like here's how I would have done it. You keep Darth Maul alive. Darth Maul gets away. At the end of the movie, Liam Neeson, they get word of this kid on Tatooine. What? Yeah, I know.
I just said Tatooine.
That on Tatooine, who is like kind of like they think he might be Force sensitive, and that's how the movie ends. They end going to Tatooine and they find Anakin there. That's how I think it should have been. I think it would have been infinitely better, and I still think it's a great movie if they solely focused on just Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and their relationship and how they grow. And I think they should have kept Qui-Gon alive for one more movie.
Yeah.
The way
that would have been better.
The way I think about the prequels, I think that Obi-Wan and Anakin should have been about the same age as young adults, because in the original trilogy, he says like, I fought in the Clone Wars with your dad and all that, which obviously they, do in the prequels. But I think it would have been better if it was like they were both the same age and one kind of went good, one kind of went bad.
Or if like Obi-Wan was just like a little bit older, just like a little bit, a couple years older.
I just don't think he should have been a kid. That felt, because especially when like he's too old to begin the training. I'm like, so you're saying that if any kid is older than 2 years old, you're not training them to be a Jedi? That's
they age him so quickly for the second one. Like it seemed like it aged him so quickly.
It's like a 10-year time jump almost. Yeah, it's just,
and then he falls in love with Padme, and it's like it's kind of weird because
who wouldn't though?
What?
I mean, who wouldn't though?
No, but it's kind of weird because in episode 1, she's kind of like already grown. She looks like she's Anakin.
Yeah.
It's just
she's
weird.
Like a young adult.
Yeah, like she doesn't age, but everyone else does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think she was like
good,
15 or 16 or something in that movie.
But like I said, I think the good is really good, and I think the bad is like Jar Jar Binks is horrendous.
Yeah. So I think Phantom Menace was pretty awesome. For some reason, I feel like Phantom Menace had better CG than episode 2. At least in my memory,
I think it did too.
Well, it's like I said, in episode 1, they had actual sets.
They had practical effects.
Yeah, they had practical sets. In episode 2, I don't know if they had any practical sets. They might have had.
I think a big reason why too about episode 1 having more practical sets is because the technology at the time was probably limited CGI wise. They probably didn't have the CGI at the time.
Yeah.
But
so
good stuff, good music.
Like,
all right. Yeah. My turn. I want to get some bars off.
Oh, yeah.
So Phantom Menace. I thought it was awesome. I had this at my number 6. This is a really good movie. I love it. I really like, of course, Queen Amidala and Padme is awesome. The whole Naboo stuff was cool. The only negative really about this entire movie was Jar Jar and the Gungans were annoying, right? But what's funny is they kind of redeemed the Gungans a little bit in the Clone Wars. Like you like them a little bit more if you watch the Clone Wars
because they're probably not as fun.
They're more helpful and cooler. Yeah, but yeah, I mean this movie was just awesome. I love those the scene where the Jedi are like, handling Sith Lords is our specialty. Like that's an awesome line. Of course, then he dies right after. But it was really cool.
Sith Lords
seeing the Jedi. Yeah, dude, it was just so cool seeing Star Wars back. I was so hyped. Jedis were like peak you wanted to be one back then. So cool seeing Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. And Darth Maul was the best villain ever. They shouldn't have killed him. The Duel of the Fates, the music, like you said, was incredible. I agree with you. That would have been cooler if Darth Maul had just escaped. That would have been sweet. The pod racing was also really cool. It was 30 minutes, but I enjoyed it. Everything about this movie, other than the Gungans, was great. Even the Gungans was all right. I remember when they had that scene where they were being chased by the fish, and then the fish gets ate, and he's like, "There's always a bigger fish."
Yeah. Well, and the concept of Gungans isn't bad. It's just the fact that they made them sound fucking stupid. Like that they're all like, "Oh, me I fish man." Like, all right, we don't need to talk like that.
Shut up.
Yeah, if they just had normal accents, it would have been fine. But instead they're like, "Oh, you saw Jar Jar Binks." It's like, okay.
You had a 6-year-old Anakin rising up, 16-year-old Padme.
Yeah,
in there.
Yippee!
That was weird with the age gap.
Yippee!
Yeah. But yeah, it was great, man. It was really awesome. Shout out to that movie. We want to move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So at number 5, we had Rogue One, Sean. So for Rogue One, you had it at 7 for you. Hodge, you had it at 5. I had it at number 3. That's right. Number 3. And randomly, I'll just say Lockmore had it at number 1. Very surprising.
I think it's easily the best Disney movie, but that's not saying much. I think
it is 1,000% the best Disney movie.
Yeah, it's definitely the best Disney movie. I think it's a tier above all the other Disney. It's definitely a tier above the other Disney movies. They do have some cool concepts, but I think who's the black guy in it who dies really quickly? What is his name?
I don't know.
I can't remember his name. But the one who's like, he's like an eye patch.
Grief Cargo.
I don't remember, but they killed him off way too early. Like they set him up like he was supposed to be this like big, protector. They set him up. They kill him off way too early.
That's not Grief. That's from Mandalorian era.
Are you talking about Forrest Whitaker's character?
Maybe that's it. Yeah,
Saul Guerrero.
Yeah,
Saul Guerrero.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is at this point, I was kind of already checking out of Star Wars. I was like, all right, guys, like this is. I thought the concept was cool. Like, we need these plans for the Death Star. But again, I don't think I really needed to. Like, I don't think people were wondering like how did they get the plans for the Death Star?
Yeah, I'll give you that it was a story that we didn't need to tell, but I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, that was pretty good. And then I remember my favorite scene was the Darth Vader scene at the end because it was so epic. That was so cool to show how powerful Darth Vader is.
They reshot, the opening to 4, basically.
But if that's the best scene, I will give you this. If that's the best scene in the movie, the best scene in the movie is just member berries, which shouldn't be the best part of your movie. But they did do that a couple times, which was stupid. Like they bump into the guys from the Mos Eisley bar, like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." It's like, all right, we didn't need to do that. I will say that there's a lot I love about this movie because it was just a really good war movie, really like a kind of a war heist movie. But there was some cringe humor. Some of the characters were kind of like, what? But overall, I thought it was just a great movie, and obviously it led to Andor, which was even better.
I also don't like. One thing I didn't like is that the guy who built the Death Star, he's like, oh, I'm gonna put this weakness in because like I'm angry with like come on, like if you're building the Death Star, come on, you're getting someone you can trust, not this guy. All right, you're getting someone you can trust. Palpatine.
Well, I guess that was the point of it, is that he tricked them into thinking he was part of the Empire, and in the end, he put the weakness on the
Dude, you have the Force. You can't read his freaking mind. Come on.
The only thing I will say is it's kind of dumb that they made it like I put this here on purpose, wink wink. Like it's like, all right, like the fact that they found that there's an exhaust port should be enough. Like it should be like it's just a flaw in the thing. Like it shouldn't be like I put this here on purpose so you could blow it up by shooting a direct missile directly at this, like, because that is such a complex like thing to be like, I hope you guys have someone with really good aim, because if you don't, like the reason why Luke is able to do it is because he uses the Force.
Yeah.
Like, so they had to bank on an X-wing fighter using the Force to destroy the Death Star.
I don't like that.
It should have been a flaw.
That's a big thing for me. Like that's a big thing for this movie. It's like how, like I think it is egregious that they would use this guy to build it. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I think Rogue One was pretty awesome. I think it was an awesome story. I love the characters. Of course, it Andor spawned off from it.
Yeah.
The series. Andor takes place before it, so you can watch the Andor series and then watch Rogue One afterwards.
Brought to you by Disney Plus.
Yeah. So I thought this was good. I loved all the characters. It was a cool heist, basically. And they got the plans to the Death Star, and then they had their little epic moment at the end. We're looking at the sunset, and I thought it was really good. And of course, the member berries with Darth Vader at the end, like you said, how they reshot him entering the ship, badass. Made him super strong and powerful, which is sweet. So, but yeah, I think we said what we needed to.
Well,
there.
Really quickly, also before we move on. This was also like the first example of them using CGI to bring back characters, and it was very bad. Tarkin and Leia. Those were very bad. Leia was way worse than Tarkin. I thought Tarkin looked okay, but Leia looked horrible. That was
funny story. One of my friends goes, "I can't believe that guy's still alive." I go, "Dude, it's not him."
That's what my mom said. She goes, "He's still alive." I'm like, "No, that's
CGI. He hasn't aged a bit since the 80s."
Yeah, he was old as shit in 1977 when the movie
smoking does to you.
50 years later, he's still alive and kicking. Yeah, or 40 years, I think it was at that point. But yeah.
All right, boys. Number 4, Revenge of the Sith, episode 3. So with this one here, Revenge of the Sith, Sean, you had it at 5. Yes. Hodge, number 4, and I had it at 5. Yes. So with this here, let me start this time here. So episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, definitely the best of the prequel trilogy by far. This movie was pretty awesome. I thought it had the best acting of the 3 movies. I thought Hayden Christensen was much better. Much better. This had everything was awesome about this film other than Padme dying of sadness, which made 0 sense. We talked about this before. It completely invalidates everything about her character. Padme's character is all about her being a fighter and completely fearless and never giving up and being a badass, especially if you watch like Clone Wars and stuff, which I think came after. But anyway, like she's always doing stuff and like never giving up and like killing people and like uncovering plots and stuff. But she's sad because my husband turned bad. Well, what about these 2 awesome kids that you got? Doesn't that give you a reason to live? No, I'm still sad. I'm gonna die. Like they should have had her get injured in the fight or something. Like maybe she got hit by some debris or something and died. That would have made a lot more sense.
Well, what would have made the most sense is if Anakin accidentally killed her out of anger, like him getting so angry
and they had to like immediately do the childbirth right there because of that, and then she died. Cool. Or if they sliced her and they bring her in and they're like, "We're gonna save you, but the kids are gonna die," and she says, "No, save the kids." That would have been been better. Yes.
Yeah.
Let us not forget one of the most iconic and one of my favorite scenes of all time was when Anakin finally does the right thing, if you will, and he goes to Mace Windu and says, "Hey, the Chancellor's a Sith Lord." I'm pretty sure. And so Mace pulls up. This was so awesome when Mace pulls up with 3 other Jedis and he's like, "Chancellor, by order of the Jedi Council, you are under arrest." And he's like, he says, "By order of the Galactic Senate, you're under arrest." And the Chancellor's like, "I am the Senate." And he's like,
Senate.
And he's like, "Not anymore." And he's like, "It's treason then." And they pull out their 4 lightsabers, and then
that scene is so awesome. And then, dude, Mace Windu's death scene. Oh my god, he falls so high up from the oh my god. Arguably, this movie has the best scene in the entire prequel trilogy: the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Unbelievable scene.
Oh yeah,
on Mustafar.
Unbelievable scene. I have the high ground.
Yeah.
Why can't I think what the song's called? The dun 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 dun.
Oh, yes, oh my God.
Yeah, awesome song.
Dude, John Williams, the goat.
Did anyone else find it a little bit weird and interesting though how fast those other 3 Jedi died? Like,
oh yeah,
and
one of them was Kit Fisto, and I love Kit Fisto.
Yeah, and he's a semi-main character kind of.
Dude,
Like, he died in like 1 hit, like
too.
instantly.
Yeah, he's awesome. But
also, when they do execute Order 66,
what
a sad scene when you just see the clone troopers going, yep, and then also they just turn and start shooting the Jedi. And then, how about the one Jedi who looks around and is like, crap. He like can see, like he knows it's coming. He's like,
I will say, I hate that. I think I don't know if this was Disney or if it was before Disney took over. I hate that they retconned it to be like it was a chip in their brain that made them do it.
Yes.
It should have just been they were clones and that's what they were. They were built
to follow Palpatine's orders. That's what it should.
Yeah, but the fact that they made it like it was a chip in their brain, I'm like, oh. All right. That's because it's because they wanted to. It's because in like the Clone Wars or whatever, they wanted to have the one who had the big bushy white beard, like the good guy, Commander Cody. No, not Commander Cody. Whatever his name was, I can't remember. But because they wanted some good clones, and so they did that. So like that they were able to beat the programming. And I was like, it's stupid. But they could have just.
That was so epic, though, because Mace Windu was my favorite New Era Jedi. I love Mace Windu. And, of course, if you're familiar with the lore, Mace Windu was supposedly the strongest Jedi of all with a lightsaber. Like, he was the best duelist. Yeah. So that was awesome, him versus Palpatine. And he beats Palpatine. Dude. The only reason why he loses is because Anakin comes in and Anakin saves Palpatine because he's worried about Padme dying, thanks to the dark side Force dreams. Yeah.
So
another amazing scene is when Yoda, of course, confronts Palpatine in the Senate, and Palpatine's like throwing the Senate platforms down on him and stuff. That was incredible too.
Yeah,
because I was wondering that. I'm like, well, how the hell did they get away from Yoda? But they showed how, and it was plausible at least. You know, he had the high ground, and he was throwing shit on him, and was able to escape.
Yeah. The other thing with Mace Windu is in between episodes 2 and 3. There was a Clone Wars cartoon. This is before the CGI one.
Great cartoon.
Inferior. Yeah, this one was so good. And there's an episode where Mace Windu alone takes out an entire droid army. It is so cool that he does that. And so he takes out this whole army, and then he almost kills Grievous by himself also. Like, Mace Windu was awesome. But before we move on quickly, I just want to also say... I think with the Padme stuff, it almost felt, I mean, like we said, they could have done it other ways, but it felt like we need to lead to episode 4. So all this stuff has to happen.
Yeah.
It did have that.
I think they ran out of time.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was awesome. I think they did a great job connecting the series. It was awesome.
And again, really quick before the way I would have done it, like I said, I hate that the Jedi were monks who like couldn't show emotion or fall in love and stuff. I think what should have happened is Anakin and Padme should have been able to fall in love, and Luke and Leia should have already been born and like kids, because in episode 6 there's a line where Leia says, I barely remember my mother, I just remember she's very beautiful. And obviously she wouldn't remember anything if she died.
No, she wouldn't.
So
right. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, too, it he says only a Sith deals in absolutes. That's an absolute statement. So but anyway, let's keep it moving, guys, here, because we are under a little bit of a time crunch here. So we're going to move on to number 3, and it is Jedi. Return of the Jedi. Okay. Yeah. So Return of the Jedi. Sean, you had it at 2. Hodge 3. Me 4. So that's why it ended up where it did. Return of the Jedi, Sean. Bars.
I think it has one of my favorite scenes of the original trilogy is when Luke comes to Jabba's palace. Like, that is such a cool scene. Like, he just comes and he's like he's showing that he has like kind of like the dark side. You see him kind of change a little bit. He's wearing all black. That symbolism that something definitely changed. He's definitely pissed off about episode 5. At the end of Empire, he's definitely pissed off about that. I love how he tricks Jabba. Thinks that he tricks him into like falling into the pit. Yeah, so he kills. What does he kill? What is that thing called again?
A Rancor.
Yeah, he kills the Rancor. Yeah. Like, I love that. I love the scene where they're outside and it's like R2-D2 throws in the lightsaber. Like, that is so cool. Like I think that whole Jabba's palace scene is awesome. And then the reveal of the green lightsaber, like, that is so cool.
Yep. It is really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the green lightsaber.
With Return of the Jedi, so I rewatched the Star Wars movies, probably about a year or two ago. And as a kid, Return of the Jedi was my favorite of the trilogy. But as an adult, I went back and watched it, and then you realize which one's the best, which we'll get to. But because as a kid, obviously you love the Ewoks because they're cute little, fluffy guys. But when I rewatched it, I was like, this movie is legitimately a perfect movie other than the Ewoks, because the story of Luke going to face off against Vader while they all fight the Empire and stuff is so good and so well done, because it's so Luke is so close to being tempted to the dark side, but then they even show I remember reading about it. They show it's symbolic of he's wearing all black to show that he's heading towards the dark side. And while he's fighting Vader, it slips open and there's white underneath. And that's like literally the symbol of him that the light is coming out, and he stays good. And it's so well done. And so if honestly, if not for like the Ewoks and kind of the corniness of like these little teddy bears taking down an empire, other than that, this movie's like a perfect movie.
Yeah. So let me give some quick bars here. So this movie was awesome. Absolutely. Almost flawless. I love the scene at the end, of course, where Darth Vader turns to the good side. Because, you got Sidious is shocking the hell out of Luke and almost killing him, and would have killed him, I'm sure. And Vader picks him up and throws him down the exhaust vent or whatever. That's awesome. I think the stupid "there can only be two Sith" rule is basically what did in Palpatine. Actually, I think Palpatine maybe could have had a chance to get Luke to turn if, instead of saying kill your father and join me at my side, if he had changed that to say join your father and us three, let's rule the Empire together. Maybe Luke might have went for that. He might have wanted to be with his father and did that. But nope, that's not how it works with the Sith. He wasn't going to kill his father. So there you go. Great film. I'll keep it there because we got to keep it moving. Any other thoughts on that one?
No, great. Just a great movie in general.
All right. Number 2, A New Hope, the first movie, right? So on this one here, Sean 3, me and Hodge 2. This is obviously the first one. It's a great opening. It starts out with Vader raiding the ship. The plans escape. It's awesome. You meet Luke. He runs into old Ben. He gets the lightsaber. It's an awesome coming of age and story with, he gets his power. Eventually Obi-Wan dies in front of Luke, of course. It's just awesome, dude. It's great. It's a perfect setup to what's going to come. It's a great film. Super cool. Really no knocks. I have virtually no knocks to this. It's a perfect setup film, I feel like.
Definitely.
Really
Great setup film. I think it's so cool how, Luke's rise to becoming a Jedi. He doesn't really even use the lightsaber in this. He just kind of trains with it. He has that one scene where he's training. It's fun. Like you can tell he's like reluctant to believe in the Force. Like he doesn't want to believe in it.
Well, yeah, because Han talks about like, oh, your old weird religion or whatever. Like the Jedi don't exist really.
And Han shot first. We all know that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yes, Han always shoots first.
Yeah. But with this one, it was originally meant to just be a one-off movie. There was no sequel. It was really just called Star Wars. I looked it up because I can't remember what year it was. It was when it was theatrically re-released in 81, which is 4 years later, that they called it Episode 4. And so obviously in this one, Luke isn't related to Leia because he's like, oh, she's pretty. And they kiss and everything. And she's like, for luck and all that. And then at the end, the only reason why they had Darth Vader like fly away in his TIE fighter is because they wanted to leave it open for a sequel because he defeats him and destroys the Death Star, which is supposed to end, save the universe and everything. And so it was supposed to be this little one-off film. And as itself, it's awesome. It's just the next movie, which obviously everyone can do the math of what number 1 is. It's just better. Yeah, but this movie, I love this movie. Everything about this movie, it's so
everything
good.
but Chewie not getting a medal.
Yeah, she stiffs him. That's racist, man. And then in episode 9, they tried doing, oh, you deserve this, and it's like, okay, good job. But good. No, this movie, it's great. It's just the next one's even better.
Yes, Empire.
All right. Speaking of which, at number 1, Empire Strikes Back. And the consensus was 1-1-1 from all three of us. Yeah. Locke, interestingly, had it at 2 because he had Rogue One at 1 for some reason. But anyways, but for us, that matters. The GOP trio ranking is number 1, Empire. couldn't agree more. Awesome film. Training with Yoda in the swamps, freaking sweet. How he uses the Force to pull out the freaking X-wing from the swamp. That was awesome. He fights Darth Vader. Luke, I am your father, and cuts off his hands and stuff. It's just an awesome movie, man, all around.
Yeah, I will.
What more can you say?
I will say,
everyone's seen it.
I will say, as a kid, this was my least favorite of the trilogy because it's so dark and deep.
It's very dark.
As a kid, you're just kind of like, I like the fluffy, teddy bears in the first one, and him doing this in the first one, like so. This one was just always the one that I was like, it's good, but like I prefer the other two. But then as an adult, you see all the themes in this movie, and because this one wasn't directed by, or it might have been somewhat written by George Lucas, like it was written by other people, and it shows because of how good the world building is. Like when he gets to Dagobah, he's wanting to find Yoda, and it obviously turns out to be the little weirdo who's like annoying him and stuff like that. Like there's so much good, and like the trap of Luke thinking he's going to save his friends, but it's a trap to get him there so Darth Vader can fight him.
Lando turning on his friends to save his, like, he's like, well, I got people to think about here too. Like he's thinking about, he's thinking about the people he protects.
It's such a good.
Lando didn't have a choice. Let's be honest. What's he going to do with Darth Vader?
Yeah, and he kind of has his cake and eat it too in a little bit, where it's like they let him take Han, but he goes, "I'm going to help you now, though. Like I'm going to get you guys off of here. Just get away." But I had to do the Han stuff to save my own ass and all that kind of stuff. And it's just it's a perfect movie. Like I love this movie. It's a perfect movie, and I'm
trying to remember. Han comes in and he shoots at Darth Vader sitting at the thing. Does Vader stop the blaster bolt?
Yeah, he just puts his hand up, and I think it hits his hand or whatever. But he uses the Force to just stops. Yeah, he just
and then he pulls the gun out of his hand. Yeah,
because I love the internet's like, I love just how badass Han is. The first instinct is I'm just gonna shoot the shit out of you. Yeah. Like it's so good. But again, like I said, as a kid, it's such a dark movie with such good, like deep.
It's a movie about the Empire rising again.
And so as a kid, I was like, but as an adult, you realize how masterful of a movie this is. It's so
really good,
so good.
Yeah.
Trying to think if I have anything else. Also, Hoth is just such a cool planet.
Oh yeah,
and the battle and stuff. It's so
cool opening with the Wampa or whatever.
And the Tauntaun.
He's hanging upside down.
I thought these things smelled bad. I thought these things smelled bad on the outside.
Oh well, that too. I'm talking about when he's in the cave.
Yeah,
the Wampa, and he's hanging upside down. And he uses the Force to get his lightsaber and just barely lives.
Cuts its arm off. Yeah, it's so it's so good. Yeah, amazing movie. Love it. Love it.
Awesome. All right. Well, there you go. So let's go through it. So here is the consensus ranking, guys. Tied at number 10, Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi.
Amazing movie.
Tied at number 7, Solo, Attack of the Clones, and Force Awakens. At number 6, Phantom Menace. At number 5, Rogue One. Number 4, Revenge of the Sith. Number 3, Return of the Jedi. Number 2, A New Hope. And at number 1, Empire Strikes Back. That is the official list, and there will be no arguments because we have spoken. But no, leave in the comments if you disagree. Let us know.
Yeah, and fun fact about Return of the Jedi: it was really originally supposed to be called Revenge of the Jedi, but then they said Jedi wouldn't do revenge, so they changed it to Return. Revenge.
I think Return's a better name, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. So this has been episode 63 of Games Over Plastic. Let's go around and give our final thoughts. Hodge, what are your final thoughts, sir?
Man, Star Wars, when it's good, it's great. I love this franchise so much. I wish Disney would actually make good shit again because it's been so bad for so long at this point that it makes me sad knowing that this used to be one of my favorite, like these games we talked about and obviously the great movies. This is my childhood. I love Star Wars so much and I just want it to be great again. But for now,
make Star Wars great again.
Exactly.
That's right.
I need a Muswa hat.
Yeah.
Or Miswaga.
They got rid of Kathleen Kennedy, right? So maybe there will be hope for the future. We'll
Dave Filoni took over for her, who is not any better. So
what's he known for?
He invented. He was a writer on like Clone Wars, and he made Ahsoka.
The damage is done.
Yeah, he's not any better. So
they need to get someone good. Damn it.
Yeah.
Put Sean in charge.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. Final thoughts, sir.
If it was up to me, I would destroy everything Disney touched and just start over.
Yeah, and anything they've taken,
except for Rogue One.
anything
Rogue
they've
One was good,
taken
keep it.
from, because they brought in the blue guy, I can't think of his name right now, Thrawn. Like they brought in people from the stuff that they decanonized and they make them worse. It's like, no, the legends, Star Wars Legends should be what's canon, not this Disney crap. So yeah.
All right. My final thoughts are thank you guys. Leave comments, subscribe. We love you. And like I said, this has been Games Over Plastic. We're going to get on out of here. Goodbye.
Bye.
I've had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you.
We just got demonetized. Great.
Yeah.